As it dissolves, my nitric oxide levels improve.
So starting off my day,
What about this? Can we hear me now? It looks like we can hear me. Let's see. Can y'all hear me okay? Yes? No? Not? Perfect. There it is. Boom. We're in, friends. Great to see y'all here. Super fun to get back into it. Thanks for being patient. Case, great to see we are working. It is Fields time, baby. And you get to see what it's like to run a franchise with Justin Fields, because I'll tell you what, it's yeah, let me do the whole intro then. What's up, everybody? Great to see y'all here. We were all able to do it. We all did it. We made it through the hardest part of the offseason, the deadest part, the part where nothing happens. And we are finally now at this spot where we get to, yeah, exactly, Andrew. It's the Red Rifle era. Justin Fields is on his way. We get to watch football again, and obviously we can start it here now. Let me move the mic a little bit closer. Hopefully this gives a more, podcasty sound to it, but I'm curious to see what it looks like in terms of the visual. You guys let me know, because given that we're able to play off of a controller, I can kind of just do whatever, but At this point, somebody pointed out on Twitter that I need to make a trade for Marquise Goodwin, and I looked for him and couldn't remember that he was an Eagle before he was a 49er, so I have to pull him off of the Eagles real fast. Where are you, Goodwin? There he is. And I've just been throwing random trades to try to get these guys. Like I traded Anthony Miller, for instance, for, what is his name? For my word. I think it's Damian Williams. Yeah, I think Damian Williams. But I recognized when I saw it, Damian Williams right here. That was, thank you, Anthony Miller, for helping fund that so that we could get him back on the roster. At this point, we'll probably take, let's just send a draft pick or something. Something easy, right? They're all the way down here at the bottom. For some reason, Madden thinks that we are just loaded with draft picks. So let's see if round 5 gets it done. And it looks like it did. So a 5th gets us Marquise Goodwin. Hooray. But so, do they really, Mike? Because I was leafing through the rosters trying to find something that worked well enough. And I couldn't find anything particularly easy. So this was what I ended up going with. Let's take a look at the depth chart. Try to make sure everything is in place. I want to get Mooney over Goodwin on the depth chart because he's obviously younger and I care. So we're going to make him the wide receiver 2 just about no matter what. Let's see Goodwin here. Leafing through their stats, Goodwin's obviously faster. Both are really solid. Good to see you, ENB. Good to see you guys, everybody. Great to be back. Let's get this thing rolling. Okay, that makes sense. By the way, I have no idea. Don't take this as anything other than me just being honest. I was able to order this from Yeti the other day, and it came out really, really well. I'm not even selling them. If that's something that you're into, you let me know. I'll let you know how much it costs me. I'll supply the logo, get it ordered and everything. But this ended up pretty nice in terms of how it felt, and I'm more than happy to, again, make sure that those are at cost. But you'll just see me drinking out of it, and I've really enjoyed my time with it. I'm with you, Tash. I think that either Bird or Goodwin's going to come through. I think Bird in particular, like having, what is it, a $600, or not $600, 600-yard receiver helping out is going to be great. By the way, I shamelessly went through and updated Justin Fields to an X Factor, as well as Jenkins and a couple others to get their development a little bit more, let's call it what it is, fun, so that as we play through this, we get to see the Bears players blossom and develop, and you get the idea. So we'll play around with this. Obviously, we've got some preseason things to go through, and I am shamelessly rusty at Madden. So at this point, it's time to get rolling. At any point, by the way, if you guys want a play call or you guys want just about anything, feel free to just fire it in there. Whether it is like, hey, do an outside run, do this, that, the other, fire it in the chat. I'll be watching, and we'll keep going from there. Nice to see Nightbot is alive. We've got the training stuff, so on and so forth. Let's see. Well, we probably want something that's going to benefit the quarterback and the offensive line. So I guess we'll sit him on Power O, and sure, defensive back, defensive line makes sense to me. Jalen Johnson, Darnell Mooney, Justin Fields. As much as I love Jalen, I don't know. Both of them are hidden, so it's just a matter of making that work. And then we'll let them sim the training. I think we can do that, right? Let's see. Do I have to play the training? Somebody who knows Madden better than I do, let me know. As far as whether Madden, by the way, are... Andrew, that's what you want. Great. But so, Joshua, I don't know if Rodgers will retire. I'm watching just like everybody else is, but obviously I hope so. That would be great, wouldn't it? I think the Bears have a legitimate shot at winning the division if Rodgers is out of the picture, but we'll see what that means. So it's just a matter of what happens next. Obviously, we're going to play the full game. Dang it. Yeah, we'll see if he retires. Look at this. Don't you love that? The Chicago Bears versus the Browns, and we are not heavy favorites. But I'm going to start Justin Fields, obviously, in the preseason. I would love to see the Bears play Fields heavily in this preseason, by the way. If that wasn't absurdly obvious, I think this is where Fields should get the prime, the majority of his reps. And, of course, depending on how those go, I would love to see Fields win the job. Whether Fields is going to actually have a chance to win it, I think Nagy's going to keep that close to his chest. So don't know the answer. Thank you so much, honey. That is so sweet of you. I don't think Nagy's going to tell anybody that Fields is in an open competition with Dalton because they just signed Dalton. Remember, there's a little bit of politics at play there, where if the Bears signed Dalton and then drafted Fields, quote-unquote, Andy Dalton is the starter, makes a little bit more sense than the 49ers model where Garoppolo is the incumbent. So saying Trey Lance is eventually going to take over for Garoppolo, well, yeah, that's the point because they just drafted Trey Lance. Everybody's aware. But in the setup where and they just signed Andy Dalton, they kind of have to run with, or like they've got to at least pretend he's the starter until Fields clearly wins the job. I just get why they're going the direction that they are. And Andrew, of course I'm going to run with these unis. I went into Madden settings and set these things as the default unis, so I almost wish the Bears would wear more, if anything else, but we'll see what happens. It's time to dive into some football, but okay, fine. I'll let Allen Robinson show off a little bit first. I'm with you, Audrey. Fields for the preseason should be a whole lot of fun. I'll see if I can't go over those games just like I would otherwise go over another game. Like, we can walk through the ins and outs, the ups and the downs. Obviously, the winning doesn't matter, but the player performance does. So why not? Should be fun. Let's get rolling. Oh, those white stripe unis, the ones with, or like the 30s uniforms, those are awesome. Honestly, most Bears uniforms are great, but I don't know. I love these in particular. Oh, Akusai, the player portraits look bad. They look better in a helmet, like the rookies, I'm convinced. Like Fields, for instance, actually kind of looks like himself in his helmet, but in his like portrait, he looks terrible. And then Joshua, I don't know. Personally, I'm always a big fan when it comes to receivers of keeping guys around if you can afford to. But obviously, that's going to be up to the Bears. As much as I wish it could, as much as I wish I could have anything to do with it, it's going to be the Bears' decision one way or another. Let's play cover 2 man to start out. It's not what I want, but if we were going to get into a zone, we'd need to have gotten into it a little bit quicker. So we'll go from here. First carry for Nick Chubb. Not the greatest start in the world, gotta tell you guys. But let's see. I think a hard flat makes a lot of sense. Bears are going to have... I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears have a little bit of an issue stopping the run. Then again, now that I think about it, they've got Akeem Hicks, so it might not be quite as bad as I'm thinking it will, especially since we live in an era nowadays where people pass first instead of exclusively running first and then moving to the pass. So the Bears are setting up a defense where you're going to see me playing a whole lot of cover 2. I'm trying to pseudo-simulate the Bears as much as I can here. And we've already lost Bilal Nichols in a preseason game. That's less than good. But so, yes, ENB, Eddie Goldman is coming back. It's just going to be a question of how well Eddie Goldman plays coming immediately off the, I don't know. It's not the pine, obviously. So how well is Eddie Goldman going to play in his return? Your guess is as good as mine. I hope it's well. Certainly the workout videos of him look nice, but I won't pretend to know just how well anybody's always going to play or not play based on workout videos. Trufont's better on this game than I would have expected. He's like an 81, by the way, which made me giggle. There we go, Hicks. Let's flex. Maybe off the couch, John. Off the couch isn't bad. But yeah, getting back to it, yeah, abdominal tear is bad. But so, oh, there we go. Eddie Goldman announcing his return. There it is. Love that kind of thing in the preseason. But so, Ian B, I'm with you. The pass defense is definitely a major worry, and it should be. Like, if that's where your focus is, like, I personally would tell you that I think you've done a good job of evaluating the Bears' defense. Then again, I've looked at this season personally and thought to myself that if it was me, I wouldn't be so worried about defensive performance because until Rodgers retires, I'm not even all that focused on winning. I'm not trying to be salacious here as I say that. Let's flip the run to the heavy side. Why not? But it's more that I keep looking at this season thinking it's all about Justin Fields. Like, either way, even if we're losing 31-38 or so on and so forth in tighter games, if the defense can do all right, that gives Justin Fields time enough to perform. And somebody called for not a play action but a quick flat, so there we go. E&B, I would call it, think of it as a like a live fire development year. That, for some reason, is the best way that I can phrase it. It's like a development year that is, I mean, winning is ideal and winning is expected, but if it doesn't happen and players develop, then that's perfectly fine. Nice job so far, Fields. He's playing well. 2 for 2, 31 yards. Bears fans going crazy. Tweets off a storm. I'm very excited, by the way, to dig into with y'all, like, just how good Fields is. Once I get his video out, I'm planning on probably trying to go through a little bit of his tape on stream, but it's on me. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, I just got to find a way out of, what is it, second and 21. Maybe, right, Case? Then you saw me take a sack. Let's see. I can't just run mesh the whole game, so let's go with... The truth is, Case, is that I got better at specific plays, but let's see. I like this idea of a potential we've got a 2 deep safety right here, so if they stick with it, I think we're going to get Robinson in the honey hole, but let's see. Yep, there he is. Fields delivers the ball, and first down. Boom. So, Andrew, if you go back to one of my random streams, and those in the chat, you may very well remember it. We watched a whole bunch of different quarterbacks, and you guys heard me ooh and ah over Fields in particular. I'd watched his Nebraska game and a couple of others, and I was over the moon. He looked so good. So, believe it or not, I was a Fields believer, and then I got into the film a little bit, and there's a lot to like, and there are things to worry about. But I'll tell you that, truth be told, as I say that, if anybody ever tells you that a rookie has nothing to worry about, they're lying to you. The fact that Fields has some things to work on, or some questions I'd like to see him answer, are absolutely, that's so normal. It's, thank you, bird. What a great first catch as a Bear. But so, we'll see what happens. There are some things that I want to see him show us, but there are some other spots, specifically in Fields' game, that I'm not worried about him at all. Wait a second. Hang on. We got to go back to the replay real fast, because I think there's a chance that was Dalton. Yeah, look at this. When did Dalton get in the game? So it looks like the starters came out. Dalton came on, he delivers a perfectly good ball to Bird, and everybody on Bears Twitters is saying exactly, because you read my mind, that if Justin Fields was in, no way this is a fumble. This has nothing to do with wide receivers. It's all Dalton. But yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, Case. Out of the box, it looks as if, we got a booth review. Here we go. I don't know, Joshua. By the way, you're talking about Nick Foles, just making sure this is out there. I get the impression the Bears want to trade Nick Foles just as bad as anybody else does, because it helps them to get that contract off the salary cap in future years. It's less about this year. It's more about later years. But so we'll see what happens in regarding Foles. I can't imagine he won't end up a Jet, but we'll just have to see what happens, I guess. My guess is that they're trying to move off of Foles as quickly as they can, whatever that means to them. It's just a matter of making it happen. But I'm guessing as much as anybody else is. Yeah, Jordan, that makes sense. I didn't expect Madden to actually do that. Let's see here. I don't love the idea of what we're going to get out of this. Like, Ridley may be the honest choice here. Yeah, it's going to be Ridley. Andy Dalton, too good. Red rifle right there. Takes it off the turnover. Oh, you guys, nobody's called me out on it yet. I've already completely gotten away from the run. So let's get back to, is that Khalil Herbert who's in? Let's run a screen. Yeah, that's Herbert. Let's get him a score if we can. So we got the screen. Kick that out. Come on, Khalil. Okay. Yeah, Audrey, it looks like Dalton's in. Deep voice, you know what? I'm gonna allow that vaccination question to just remain a personal choice on every single one of these virtual players. We're just gonna... Man, I hope DeAndre Hopkins doesn't retire. I don't think he will, but obviously that would be one of those like, oh gosh, kinds of moments. Let's see, and Herbert scores. Touchdown. Touchdown, Bears. It's all because Fields started the drive. Let's get the extra point through, and there we go. Experience for everybody. I'm really happy, by the way, with Khalil Herbert. I don't know if I've said that before, but he's one of those guys that as I keep watching, I keep finding myself thinking that I know we talked a little bit last year about how David Montgomery wasn't the quickest running back, and he's not. I mean, he's got every single tool except for straight line speed, which, who knows? Maybe there's a chance that, or maybe there's a decent chance that we've got like something brewing with David Montgomery's strength coach reportedly, like adding 2 miles an hour, I think it was, to his straight line sprint speed. But until I see it, I'm not super convinced, nor do I need to be. Montgomery's a perfectly good running back as it is, but Herbert has a chance to be the quicker guy. Think like Artavis Pierce, what I think some fans kind of convinced him to be, but are like convinced themselves that he is, but the real version. So that should be kind of fun. And yeah, Andrew, I'm with you. Like, I know EJ loves Khalil Herbert. He completely sold me on him, that's for sure. We're allowing some vanilla cover 2 defense. Obviously, you can't play real defense in the preseason, right? But so, let's see. I hate the fact that it's cover 2 zone and it's cover 2 man are so different, but we'll see. Yeah, John, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we can teach speed, I want somebody to teach me how to be a little bit faster, because that'd just be fun, if nothing else. But so, let's see. As far as Ridley or Wims, it won't surprise me if it's Ridley, Mike, because when I look at this Bears team, I can't help but think that they're going to prioritize for the last guy a draft pick. But then again, as I'm answering the question, Wims plays special teams and Ridley doesn't. It would be very weird to me to see Riley Ridley get cut. That would be strange. It would almost be more realistic to me that they might play Wims keep Wims and Ridley and just have a fairly big wide receiver room. In fact, that could be a very decent reason for why they traded Anthony Miller. I think his trade says that they were planning on cutting him, for better or for worse. So it's just a matter at this point of seeing what happens in camp. Hopefully Goodwin and Bird shine like we're hoping they will, because I think that they should be able to add decent wide receiver 3 presence, but it's all going to depend on what happens with Justin Fields in the first place. Nice sack. Case, I know you said it. If there's something that I'm anticipating, just as a bit of a hint, I don't know how well, it's hard to tell how well Fields reads the field, because a lot of what Ohio State did was late-breaking route combinations where Fields intentionally had to stare at one specific player while he watched the way that the defense reacted to him, and that player would change up their break at different times. But as far as how he reads the field, it seems like he reads it fine. The big bonus that I'm expecting Fields to add is being able to hit shot plays. Because we all know, and I'm not trying to dog on the guy, we all saw it, that Mitch struggled to hit the wide open deep shot. And I'm expecting Fields to be a little bit better about those kill shot opportunities. We'll have to obviously see what happens, because I really don't want to eat my words on this. I'm as excited about it as anybody else about Justin Fields potentially in Chicago. It's not as much, oh Lord, that is so underthrown, Dalton. Oh no, I should have known. But yeah, Akusai, it's all about home field advantage here. It's an arm punt on first down. We're just trying to work on defense. John, I'm also wondering about Riley Ridley. He's somebody that the more that I watch him, I don't see a guy who's particularly fast, but I don't see a guy who's particularly big either. So I'm wondering whether Ridley, who doesn't play special teams, is just having issues getting on the field. And if you're getting beaten by Javon Wims, then obviously we've got some NFL future questions for you, which, let's remember, wouldn't be weird because he's a 4th rounder. Even if he was considered a steal at the time, he's a 4th, or like Riley Ridley is just a 4th rounder. So if he doesn't pan out, that's not abnormal. And, oh, come on, Trathan. There we go. Come on. Don't think you can come over the middle outside of all the other different times that people have gone over the middle. All right, so are we padding stats here, or are we going for it? Because I'm more of a go for it kind of guy. Let's get a Hail Mary up. Let's go. Let's have Herbert streak too. Yeah, I probably do. Needing to post more often. That was not it. Fields has got to stay on the sideline at Kusai. We need him for the for game 1. If Fields gets hurt, man, just imagine what Bears fans are gonna say.
All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener.
Cohen being out makes me sad, by the way. I think he'll come back fine, but we'll see. Yeah, no, Ian B, wouldn't it be terrible? Like, it would just be wind out of sails if Fields somehow got hurt in the middle of the, like, preseason. But so, yeah, talking about better, or, like, linebacker depth, you know, honestly, I'm pretty high on Christian Jones. And don't hear high as in, like, Robert thinks he's great. Think of it as Robert thinks he's an amenable backup. And you need those on your football team. Gracious, I was really expecting that to work. We do have Brandon Marshall, as a matter of fact, Mike, if memory serves. But I have no idea what condition he's in at this point in his career. So we'll see. Oh, yeah, we got that Andy Dalton kind of get. Oh, gosh. We'll punt. It's the preseason. I may, let's consider putting Fields in. Why not, right? Especially since I feel like Fields is actually going to play in the, in the second halves of these. Here's Duke Shelley, special teams legend. Nice tackle, bud. But so, yeah. Oh, man, Audrey, don't we all? Wide receiver Brandon Marshall was just a beast. I loved having him on the Bears. He was fun to watch. Let's make this thing happen. There we go. Defensive intimidation. Case Keenum misses the throw. I like it. All right. I feel like we should play the season, but man, I don't know. We didn't have Shelly Island ENB. It was Vildor Island, and I've considered memeing on that a little harder. Like at some point, we got to talk about Vildor. But yeah, I'm with you, Deep. I do think that Madden's AI, by the way, it's a little like I think All Pro is a very good difficulty, but that's just my perspective. All Madden is the point where you get into flat-out cheating, and that gets less fun, much less fun. But we'll see. Oh, man. Yeah, Audrey, you heard Marshall's name a lot because nobody else caught the ball. Like, back when Marshall was on the team, people didn't, or like only the hardcore Bears fan even noticed Alshon Jeffrey because Brandon Marshall caught, 1,500 yards in his first season as a Bear. Jay Cutler just wasn't looking anywhere else, for better or for worse. Oh, boy. That is the hole in the Tampa 2 defense, so I guess I'm glad Keenum found it. But let's see. Shelly was the wrecking ball on special teams, that's for sure. You heard Shelly's name a lot in the preseason, especially because he was all over it, like in terms of punt coverage. But Vildor seemed like the better corner. I'll be the first to tell you guys, I am very, very worried how things are going to work as far as, like, nickel corner goes. I'm hopeful Thomas Graham can eventually kind of get the gig, but we'll see how that works. Yes, Akusa, he did. He had like 200 yards and set the record, and then he had like 300 yards and set the record. Jeffrey, in his time as a Bear, was a flat-out beast. I mean, John, I would even make the argument that he was a really good wide receiver 1 in his time. And then he went to the Eagles and kind of faded into, let's not call it obscurity, but he definitely wasn't the dominant force he was in like his late Chicago Bears years, where he was nothing short of a revelation. I mean, again, if memory serves here, he caught at least 200, if not more than that yardage against the Saints in one game alone. Yeah, Audrey, what you don't remember is that he didn't want to be in Chicago, but so he was very clear about trying to get out. Let's see. Yeah, no, Madison, I'm with you. Not dogging on Jeffrey's choice at all. He got what he wanted. And Ian B, I do think Mooney can take a solid step forward this next year. I mean, hopefully we're looking at a slightly more diverse offense, but I'm also not holding my breath until I see it, because the more and more that I've stewed on it, while I like Matt Nagy well enough, I also think that the Nick Foles era, a couple of those games were just nasty games, and there's no real way to get away from that. So I'm at the point where I just want to see things actually get better and better and better before I assume that they'll get better and better and better. So I'm not saying I'm holding my breath. It's more that I am waiting to see what happens at this point. I want to see the offense look a little bit stronger. I think we all do. So it's just a matter of letting it come into fruition. Let's see. I think we can do like a stronger run here. And we killed the quarter. Great. EMB, think of it as like my eyes are wide open. I am ready for whatever happens. And I don't know what that'll be. I mean, yeah, no, you're 100% right, Akusai, because as soon as I threw that ball, I was like, oh boy, I missed that. Fields doesn't take the sack here. But that's 100% on Dalton. Wink. But so let's do tight end attack again. I forgot what play I was running, unfortunately. So that one, it would be on me, but it's not. It's all Andy Dalton's fault. And he gets it back. Yeah, Bears. Maybe. Davion, I'm definitely getting back into it. Oh boy. I have put myself in it here. Let's see. Let's get a run going. That was bad. I own that one. That one, as I was throwing it, I was like, oh no, Robert, you've made the wrong decision. So, looks like we're looking at a stacked box. I don't love that, but what are my other options? Yeah, we can run a slant here. I think that makes sense, especially since we can get Bird, who's pretty speedy, over the middle, right in that slot. And there it is. Nice. Thanks so much, Elon. But so, yeah, Jimmy Graham, always popping off, right? Now it's just a matter of, okay, so we've got this nice light passing box, which I'm a big fan of. Toss play, you got it. At this point, we've got a nice little run up the middle. Damian Williams looking for that yardage. Has he not had a touchdown yet? Oh, no, you mean his first home touchdown, right? Because, I know he had one in Carolina. And did he... I thought he also had one against... Gosh, remind me. Somebody help me. There's a touchdown that Kmet had where he took a ball off of one of those short routes, like the flat routes that he often runs, and then raced it up the sidelines and scored a 12-yard touchdown. Nothing crazy. But, yes, Houston. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Come on, Mustafa. Thank you. Making blocks. There we go. Let's see. Oh, you're right. No fans. That's the big one there. I love tight end drive. I run like this, or this play is so bread and buttery. It's almost a bad thing because I run this thing all the time. Thank you, Kmet, for picking up the yardage. Oh no, that's not Kmet. That's Jake Butt. All right, so let's see. I know that there's a way to do subs, so we're going to sub Fields in. Let's get him a touchdown. Deep voice, we're talking no fans last year. So while Kmet got his touchdown, the fans didn't have a chance to react to anything.
Here's Dalton. Escaping the pressure right. He's gonna take
There's that Justin. I could have sworn I just subbed you out, dude. Did I not confirm it? I thought I was running that with Justin Fields the whole time. All right, so let's see. What do I have to do to confirm this? Let's see. Nah, dagger's not going to work. We'll run standard Texas route or something like that. Yeah, there we go. There's Fields. So now it's just a matter of making this work. Jimmy Graham's probably not going to draw what I want him to, but can... Nope. So we run it. Come on, Justin. There it is. There it is. I'm glad that worked. Because as soon as I saw that, or as soon as I saw Jake Butt, I think it was, coming out on the Texas route, I was like, he's not winning that. So glad to see it. Glad to see things work out. Fields celebrating his first touchdown. Fans going bananas. You've got to believe that as soon as Justin Fields scores that first touchdown, like the fans are going to erupt. The problem is, any of y'all remember Mitch Trubisky's first preseason game against the Broncos? Because oh my gosh, Mitch looked like a revelation in that game. Like, let's call a spade a spade. During that game in particular, Mitch Trubisky looked incredible. And everybody was like, this is it. We got him. We did it. Like, everybody shut up. Bears have a, like, we will have to see how we temper expectations and make sure that we remain, fair to Fields throughout his time in Chicago. I tend to think he'll be fairly rewarding. I kind of like you're saying, Case, I hope he displays like ultra superstar it factor. I certainly think that off the field, he looks very, very good as far as what he's doing with his time, the way that he's attacking, learning the playbook. All of it's reports though, so it's all hearsay. It's sand, or like it's all grain of salt as far as what we can learn from it. So it's going to be a matter of what we see on the fields. Thank you, Akeem Hicks. I don't know why you're in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, but I'm not about to complain. So then, at that point, it's just a matter of seeing what Fields can do on the field, and thankfully, he's so accurate, or at least he was over Ohio State, that I'm hopeful in the inevitable clean pockets that he will get here and there, he can prove to be a little bit, or like he can prove to be the quarterback we hope he will. But it's all conjecture, and it's all just a matter of seeing what Vildor Island catches in. Kendall Vildor looking for the end zone. No sport. That is hilarious. I'm so sorry to completely derail my train of thought. Oh, yes. Kendall Vildor with the big interception and run back. He is a lock-up corner. Probably not. But you know what? I think he's a solid depth option. He's somebody that I'm really excited to see if he can grow a little bit. Get in there, Damien. All right, so we got a flag? Face mask. There it is. Yeah, Case, I would love to see him, blossom a little bit. He certainly looked, as far as just talking about Vildor, he looked like he belonged. Like, I would describe it as if, imagine it this way. If I was going to, let's see, yeah, we got to get Fields in here, and then let's take Damian Williams, let's put in Khalil Herbert, get him a score, if possible. But so, if I was going to talk about Vildor specifically, let's see. Okay, hang on. I'm going to focus on putting this in the pay dirt. Come on. There it is. And Bird's hurt. Freaking preseason. Bears Twitter obviously is already planning the Super Bowl parade at this point. Everybody's exploding. I'll have to get in touch with them, Joel. Or Joel. A friend of mine's named Joel. Believe it or not, like Joel. Same spelling, though. So I've had that pronunciation messed up forever. But so, yeah, exactly, Akusai. Fields gets in. Dual threat, baby. Wide open run to the left. Just a matter of seeing how everything goes from there. Let's see. But so, at this point, let's see. Keep Bird, substitute. Elbow bursitis. That sounds rough. But so, it's so fun, Audrey. Bears Twitter's a blast. It's just goofy. It's just a heyday. And there's Akeem Hicks with like his third sack. I think, Case, you're right. I feel pretty good about Miller, or like about Bird coming in, because we've been waiting to see it with Miller for a little while. I said this on Twitter a bunch, guys. Miller is obviously like a super talented. I think as far as Miller's actual play level goes, he is so good at beating man coverage and such a, instinctive route runner that he's just fun to watch. I mean, not only that, but if, in theory, he took that next step, he could be an animal. The problem is he hasn't yet. And I think the clock's running out at this point because, what is it? It's been 3 years. There's still way too many reports at this point of, like, Miller being late to practice, not knowing where he's lined up, to the point where the coaches have started, obviously, as we saw last year, criticizing him in public. So I don't know what that necessarily means for somebody like Hope Cheapers. Oh, my word. Hicks deciding that this preseason is his personal preseason. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I point being case to get back to like the Miller conversation. I loved the potential that Miller had for a really long time there. Nice play, Kendall Vildor. But we'll have to see, like, at this point, I think taking proven production with Bird and Goodwin instead of relying on potential is just a matter of, like, I think it's, natural. Natural's the word I was looking for. See, he didn't catch that because Kendall Vildor is just too good. But so, like, he wasn't beat. Vildor knew just what he was doing, and he used his psychic powers. All right, so now Justin Fields is going to... Oh, yes! Holtz didn't make a good enough play on the ball. Not Fields' fault at all. 100% not Fields' fault. Anyways, yeah. Joel, that's... So I think that was a misreport. In fact, I think it was a joke based on somebody screwing up an assignment. But, yeah, it took me a little while. Hang on.
Offense sells tickets. Defense does what? Wins championships. And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when
let's finish the game out.
With that determination.
100%, Audrey. Great. I'm glad I muted myself. I forgot to eat lunch because I'm a genius.
Quickly upgrade your team.
Let's see. Just upgrade them all. But so...
You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out.
We've lost Bilal Nichols for what looks to be 6 weeks.
Once you're ready,
yay.
Go ahead and select
great.
Advance week.
All right, so I'm kind of thinking that we push through this pretty quickly because as great as the preseason is, all right, so let's just assume Justin Fields has a nice little preseason and we go from there. At this point, let's get, what do we got? Well, whatever we do, it needs to benefit the quarterback. So we will let them do the training, and we'll sim everything. Why not? Let's just sim it. And so, skip that. Because preseason games, like, come on. We're playing Madden. We don't need to watch the preseason quite like that. Oh, let's see. Marquise Goodwin wants to talk about Darnell Mooney. Let's see. What do we want to do? Do we want to help Darnell fake out tacklers? Do we want to see him make catches in traffic? Do we want to let Marquise just mentor him as he wants to? Or do we want to see him get better at getting open? Punch it in. You guys let me know. You guys make this call. I need somebody. Come on. What are we looking at? Getting open. We got catching in traffic. We got getting open. We got getting open. It looks like we're going with getting open. There we go. All right, so let's do it on deep routes, obviously. Like, we got to get that thing out there. Am I muted again? Am I really? Can y'all hear me? Oh, thank you. But yeah, so at this point, ooh, look at that. Release and deep route running. Big into it. And then, obviously, we got to do QB mentorship. Oh, Nick Foles thinks it's Justin Fields' offense. Yeah, it is. So let's see. Well, we obviously want Nick to work with Justin Fields while he's still here. So let's see. We want him to work on, I'm going to say throwing under pressure. But so, yeah, at this point, like, why wouldn't we, right? Some throwing under pressure points. Big into it. Let's see. Upgrading pressure. Or upgrading players. Let's just do this. Especially when it's some of those guys, I'm like, computer, you can upgrade him just fine. Let's see. Again, we want something that helps out the quarterback. I'm a big fan of also helping out the offensive line, and yeah, it doesn't need. I'd say exactly the same thing, John. Let's simulate training, and then let's do next week as we move forward. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Joel. I agree, ultimately. Oh, gosh. Do we actually have to cut people?
Here are some recommendations to get you started.
Do we have to cut them? I'm just going to let that handle itself. So, let's upgrade players. Nobody fun. Oh, well. Weekly training. Let's see. PA pass rollout. What is that? Yeah, sure. Benefit the tight end a little bit. Why not? Akusai, I love that attitude. But so, let's see. Are we all anti-Ryan Nall here? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh boy, what did I just do? Get me out of that. Let's see. Yeah, no kidding. Like, I don't know why Foles is out there teaching Fields how to throw on the run. That's great. So, let's see. Let's just advance the week. Why not? So, anyways, talking about Bird's production, I don't expect Bird to be a 600 guy either. I think you're ultimately exactly right, Joel. Let's see. Play through injury. Well, I don't know why we would. Let's just start the backup. Mario Edwards just got paid for this. He's fine. But so, let's see. We've got players ready to negotiate. You know, I'm not looking to negotiate with people yet, just in case. Let's get players upgraded. Oh, we got a David Montgomery. So let's see. Elusive back, power back, receiving back. I want to see him. Let's see. Well, none of those really help. So let's go power back just a little bit. Because I think we've got other speed backs on the roster. Roster is what I'm looking for. Yeah, no kidding, Kusai. That's what I thought. I was like, goodness. Let's simulate training. Time to beat the Lions. Let's do it. So we are playing against Jared Goff's Lions. Let's go Bears. Let's go Bears. Yeah, I don't expect Bird's production to be 600 yards per se. I expect Bird's production to be closer to 400, but I'm hoping that at least he'll know where he's supposed to be. And who knows? Maybe if Justin Fields pops off and the Bears passing yardage numbers get a boost, then Bird will benefit from that. But I'm not expecting too much that's going to be all too crazy. And yeah, Ian B, it's going to take some time to get used to anybody else at even Lions quarterback has always been Stafford, and the Packers quarterback has obviously always been Rodgers, at least for as long as I've been a Bears fan. I missed the Favre era. Before that, it was Favre. It's going to take some getting used to see different players in both of those teams. But here we've got TJ Hawkinson versus Allen Robinson and Justin Fields. So let's get to it. Yo, yeah, Audrey. It ain't leg-eating Dan Campbell yet. Oh, shoot. Andy Benoit is a New York Times guy now. Good for him. You got to get that field stuff in there, and it's game time. Sports. Yeah, I love the Patricia era. The Patricia era was great. Every bit of it. Daz Newsome, no problem here. Akusai, does that mean that they should have just stuck with Brett Hundley? He's got 100% win percentage, doesn't he? Oh, man, I was so mad. By the way, I was so mad when we lost to Brett Hundley. That made me so angry. I could talk about that. Whew, that was one of the worst losses, I think, against the Packers that I've ever personally been through. And unfortunately, there's too many good ones to just pick one. But, man, that was awful. All right, so we've got big-time numbers over here on the right-hand side. So let's see if we can't get some yardage on the ground. We're Bears fans. We love running the ball and doing anything else. We love running the ball, and we like scoring points sometimes. But so let's see. I love Power-O out of this kind of formation. Like, if you are going to go under center, I do think that, like, your classic pin and pull Power-O can be really successful. It obviously wasn't there. Should have focused more on running the ball instead of just talking about it. So now we got a 3rd and 4. Obviously, it's time to put the ball in Justin Fields' hands. On this right side hash, let's go tight end drive. We've been practicing it all preseason. We're ready. So it's time for Jake Butt to show up. That wasn't Fields' fault. Couldn't have been. But so, oh man. I think that's because I must have slid over and got myself under pressure or something. Because there's no way that Justin Fields would just be inaccurate. No, impossible. There we go. Now it's Goff time. Here he is. Jared Goff in a Lions uniform. Gotta love it, right? Maybe, Audrey. I know it said on the bottom it was like inaccurate pass, bullet pass. So, I don't know. But we'll have to do something to get Justin Fields' confidence back under him. So let's see. Let's switch to a cover 2 man setup. I think that the Bears are going to be playing a lot more cover 2 than cover 3 at the very least. Okay. Let's see. All right, so let's go with, what did I do? 4-3. Let's sit in the nickel. Let's get into a Tampa 2. If we're going to give up the middle, we might as well give up a first down. So let's get on to Mac. Man, this guy's the leader of worlds. The more you watch his film, the more it's clear, to me anyways, that Khalil Mack had a very, very good season last year. I just wish it would have mattered a little bit more because teams are getting the ball out so fast. You know, they got to test Vildor and whatnot. That I didn't get the impression that Mack's ability to beat one-on-one defenders or offensive linemen meant much, which is a real bummer. Oh yeah, Audrey, I remember that. That video is awesome. I love that one. That was like one of my bases for that Bray Goofs video that I put together. Let's see. Let's see. 3rd down. What's a good 3rd down defense? Cover 2 sink makes a lot of sense. You don't want to give up that easy middle, but at the same time, it helps defend against all these different flats really well. So it's just a matter of if that's where they go with it. And thank goodness, because as soon as I saw like the receiver running for it, I was like, oh gosh, Gibson's out of position. Gibson's gonna get me murdered out here. Now Joel, that is a perfectly acceptable. Gracious Daz, go off. It's a perfectly acceptable feeling because I get where you're coming from, but I know that in a defensive city like Chicago, Khalil Mack's exactly the kind of player that everybody's gonna go crazy for, and always kind of will be. Let's see. Get there. There we go. Justin Fields. First pass incomplete. Second pass. 80-yard touchdown! Fields! Yeah, exactly, Kusai. Somebody's got to sit there. Madison, the idea behind regretting the Khalil Mack trade is saying that 2 first-rounders and $30 million in cap space isn't worth one of the best edge defenders in the league. Which, hey, everybody's got their own opinion. Like, that's valid. It's not true by default, but it's just a different way to build your team, per se. But yeah, let's get back to the fact that Justin Fields just took her. I can't believe that the Lions allowed that slant to go that far, but I mean, at the same time, it's the Lions defense. I won't believe that their defense has really gotten their heads on straight until the moment that, like, I see it, because the Lions have just been so consistently bad over time, under Matt Patricia at least, that, I don't know, we'll just have to see. 7-0. Justin Fields, 1 for 2, 77 yards. Could be worse. Come on, Jalen. Make that tackle. See, I think that's certainly interesting. I mean, or not interesting. It's certainly valid. It'll be really curious to see what Nagy does, because I certainly think that the offense that he's designed around Trubisky can certainly soak up a couple of wrinkles, but we'll see. John, I'm curious too. I don't think Goff's going to get better without McVay, I really do believe McVay is a very, very, very good offensive mind. So not just is he without McVay, but he's without a lot of the weapons that made the Rams for a long time there. So we'll have to see what happens. Let's see. Let's go with another Tampa 2. They've got 5 yards per attempt, which isn't what I want. But at the same time, I bet if we, let's see, okay, so we got to cover 6 invert. I don't think that's so bad. Let's switch to Hicks. Ooh, we almost had him. I hate the fact that Madden does that. I know that it just helped me, but I hate the fact that if a running back catches the ball headed towards the flat, he just steps out of bounds. That drives me wild. Any running back in that setting would not just step out of bounds and eat a loss of 1. But, hey, Madden, right? Oh. Boo. Bears fans mad all over the place. Who was that? Was that Vilder? Or was that Vilder? Or was that Trufant? Probably Trufant, now that I think about it. Let's see. I want to see a replay. Looks like cover 2 man did not help us there. And then Eddie Jackson took out his teammate. Great. John, I must not be as convinced quite as I must not be quite as convinced as you are that the Lions' offensive line is really going to pop off, but hey, I could end up surprised. Their offensive line seems to me pretty okay. Not great, not bad, but just all right. The Rams for a while there was one of the best offensive lines in football. So seeing where Goff goes from there, I don't know. I've never been personally very high on Goff, so I'm the wrong person to ask. I think when you give him an open opportunity, he'll hit it. Think like a very good football thrower. So when you've got that opportunity, he'll make it count. But it's just a matter of actually creating those opportunities, and until the Lions show that they can do that, I'm not convinced they can. Yeah, let's do it. Go, Cohen. Man, I thought we would get a lot more than that. I did not play that particularly well. Let's go with a quick screen. I know Fields' confidence is probably pretty high, but I'm never upset about more screen passes. Easy. Easy first down as we move it on. Now just a matter of, let's run inside zone here. Yeah, I like these numbers. It's just a matter of whether we can make them count. And it looks like we... not quite. Is that what you wanted, Kuzai? Cohen up the gut? I mean, I can make that happen. I am the offensive coordinator. Let's see flanker dig. I like what we've got on the outside here. It's depending on what the Lions do with their double safeties, and it looks like Robinson's going to be open. Nice play, Goodwin. Okay. Goodwin's popping off. No, he's not ENB. That's Tevin Jenkins. For some reason, it assigned him number 72, so I just sort of rolled with it. Is he a different number? But so you can see, like, I think you can tell a very strong pigmentation difference between Jenkins and Leno. There it is. All Goodwin does is pick up yardage. And AQ, I cheated. He was given a normal development factor, and I said nope, and just gave him the X factor. Why wouldn't I, right? I'm a Bears fan. All right, so I don't like that coverage roll. So I think that with it being cover 3, let's get Goodwin out there on the curl route and a couple of slants. Allen Robinson got jammed up the middle. I really thought he was going to have it. Let's see, we've got 2nd and 10. I don't love the idea of running, gosh, most plays. Let's see if we can get going on a screen and make something happen. And there we go. Love it. There we go, Fields. Now it's just a matter of... No, I'm with you, Audrey. That's one of those where I'm like, A-Rob has caught just about every ball in football. Like, if it exists, he's caught it. So it's just a matter of, if this is cover one man, then I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to actually see Cohen get open here. It depends on who's going to cover him. But if it's zone, obviously that doesn't work, and you throw to Allen Robinson, and Fields gets his first touchdown, or second touchdown throw of the game. First time since 2005 that the Bears rookie has had 2 touchdowns in a game. He has 2.5 here. But yeah, as far as, you know what, hang on. Let's just walk through that real fast. And we can't. Oh well. But that's the kind of stuff that quarterbacks have to think about. Is just like you watch basically one defender, and from there you're able to make a play on it. Fields did that all the time at OSU, Ohio State. I'm from Texas. I keep thinking it's Oklahoma State. We can make that change afterwards, by the way, relating to Tevin Jenkins. Quarterback, you try to make it as easy as possible. There's obviously so many things that you're trying to think of as you play quarterback that from an offensive perspective, you want to make the game as easy as you possibly can for the quarterback involved. A play like that did exactly what we wanted to. How about it? Also, I have no idea how many of you guys are or aren't following me on Twitter, but I am absolutely of the opinion that Charles Tillman should be in the Hall of Fame. So, if you don't like that, that's fine. I respect you. I just disagree. And there's the running back. Oh, come on, Bears. Make the tackle. But so, let's see. Right. Akusai, you'd be surprised, but yes, that's part of how my brain keeps going after it. Let's see. Did we... Okay, Lions went for the timeout there, but yeah. It's been too long. Absolutely. Elon, what'd you get as far as the new PC goes? Anything good? Oh. Okay. That can work. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Max. That's really, really kind of you. Let's see. What can we get? Let's go cover 2 man. We're looking at a 3rd and 5, so we want to be able to cover short stuff, but we'll see if our guys can do it. And big plays. For some reason, I cannot get the dadgum automatic timeout thing to work. So I have to hit pause every time, but we take these. You don't have a GPU yet? There we go. Okay. Let's see. I think he can make that block. All right, so 27 yards. We need to get all the way down the field if possible. How are we going to do it? Well, we probably want to do it from the gun to start out. Let's go empty base gun. Verticals is a good place to start. We got 2 timeouts remaining. We need to split these safeties. Hopefully we can with Cohen and Kmet over here. So it's just a matter of what happens after that. This'll do. Oh, go Kmet! All right, so all the way up to the 47, because obviously Justin Fields is just too good. So let's see. Well, I don't want to call the same play twice. I think it would work, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to, what is it, fall to that. So let's go with a different form of 4 verticals. Same thing, but not. And there's Kmet again. Lions just leaving the middle of the field open. But now we got 30 seconds. 30 seconds to see if we can't grab ourselves a little bit extra. So let's see here. Inside cross could be really interesting. The safety's basically got to pick one if Kmet and Goodwin can win their matchups. So let's see what we've got. Oh, I got confused. I got really crossed up. Let's run the same play. Nobody's got to move. Come on, get aggressive. 100% on me. Could have easily just taken the, taken the points, the kicker. Rats. Well, Fields has a last-second Hail Mary interception and 2 touchdowns. I think Bears Twitter is probably pretty excited about it so far. Yeah, I'm with you, Audrey. Tillman's a legend. Big F's in the chat. Ooh. Ooh, Elon, I'm just seeing this. You have got a piece over there. I think I have 32 gigabytes of RAM at this point, but supposedly I'm using it not for gaming. So that's part of why I justified that. I know I've got a 2070 Super in mine. So I don't quite know how the Ryzen 7 fits up because I don't actually know much about Ryzen. But I'm get the impression that the rest of the chat is going to know what, or like know the ins and outs of that. Oh boy. We jumped big offsides there. But we came back. Okay, okay. Man, Jared Goff has thrown one incompletion against this Bears defense, which is not what we want. Not at all. Oh my word, is it really, Case? Jeepers. Yeah, I'm with you, Max. Oh, come on. Robert Quinn in coverage? I did that. Great. No, it's you, Elon. Let's go cover one press. Let's get this thing moving. In the other direction, that is. Come on, Mac. Come on, Mac. There we go, Roquan. There we go, Roquan. All right, so from here, let's see if we can throw cover 6 at him. I tend to think that that'll work okay. Mac's all heated up, so it's just a matter of getting him to produce. Big hit from Smith. Do you really? I mean, that makes sense that you have to blitz a bunch to have success. I know when I'm playing Ultimate Team, I just get lazy and blitz all the time. Let's see. I just like actual cover defenses. Oh, come on. This is what I get. This is what I get for audibly into a blitz. Hooray. We'll have to get it back. We can. Can't lose to the Lions week 1. Not in Justin Fields' debut. All right, team. Let's do this. Case, that was a blitz. I audibled into Overstorm Brave and nobody saw it. Got destroyed though. 100%. Let's see. Nagy didn't get brought in to run the I formation, but now I'm calling the plays. So let's see if we can't get a little bit of Montgomery going on the ground. Nice block, nice block. There we go. 7 yards. Just go play action. We ran the ball once. That means now we can lie about it. There we go. I know, Elon. So sad. Let's go gun. Let's go screen. I would certainly hope so, Audrey. Monty's a tackle-breaking machine when he wants to be. There we go. Man, Cohen on these screens is absolutely killing them. Fields has 228 yards. We haven't even gotten to the fourth quarter yet. There we go. Let's see. Robinson and Mooney. I feel like I haven't featured Robinson enough in this game. Let's see here. You know, I didn't expect them to just sit in the flat like that. But you better believe I'll take it if that's just what they're going to do. So let's see here. We got a nice little bubble slant RPO. So it's just a matter of watching, what is it, the guy who goes M right there. So he played the run. We ran it anyways because I was just too scared to throw the ball off of that one side. There's an element of this that I'm just trying not to somehow end up embarrassed. Let's see. We got the mic right there. Quick double crossing action. Kmet is wide open. Get in there, Cole. 3 touchdowns. Yeah, no kidding, right? All right, Audrey talking about, what is it, a Bears quarterback throwing for a bunch of yardage. At this point, I forgot it counts Cole as a rookie at this point. This is Madden 21. So we're playing the 2020 season. But so at this point, we have got, oh man, Elon, that was crazy. I still can't believe, by the way, there was 6 touchdowns in the first half. Matt Nagy didn't go for 8 just to give Trubisky the record. I always felt like, I mean, if you're styling on somebody that hard, you might as well, because it's going to give your quarterback confidence going forward. But they pulled off, because it easily could have been, what, a 7 or 8er, but for sportsmanship. Which, hey, there's a place for sportsmanship, absolutely. But I'm at the point where if you've got the chance to set that record, you should set that record. That's just me, though. Let's get a linebacker blitz moving here. I'm hearing blitz a lot, so let's blitz a lot. At least more. Goff's going to kill the clock.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL kickoff weekend. We'll return.
Let's go.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games.
Cover 1 linebacker blitz. Hopefully try to get to the quarterback a little bit quicker than we have. Okay. Hey, it's just 7 yards. No big deal. Let's go. I like quarters a lot as a defense in general, especially when you think the opponent's going to make, or it's going to take a shot, which I think they may. Our problem is that our guys are just getting beat on the edge, which that may be the season, honestly. Like, I would love to pretend it won't be, but it might. You got to send pictures, Elon. I don't know if you, I mean, obviously I don't think you can blow up a like a YouTube chat with pictures, but in the Discord at the very least, you got to send something. Because what is it? We're all enough into this sort of thing that we got to know. And what is that? Is that Robert Quinn? Quinn's got 2 sacks? He just repeated his whole last season's performance. Let's go. Hicks right here. Okay. We're starting to lock it down a little bit. 3rd and 16. Now we just got to find a way not to blow it. I think cover 3 is going to be a decent option here. It's just a matter of not getting beat up the seams, which I think we can do. Boom. Let me see. Yeah, Robert Quinn. What is it? He's got... All right, so here we go. Come on, miss. Miss it. Oh, of course he did. All right. So Justin Fields comes in. He's up 4 points. Yeah, Quack, it was. He came in and he got a forced fumble. Looked exactly like everything that I expected him to do, and then all of a sudden he just went completely quiet. Hopefully, let's talk entirely like optimism here. Hopefully Robert Quinn has shaken off his injury and can be a little bit better in this upcoming season, but I'm not holding my breath until the moment that he actually does something, because I don't want to end up getting bummed. All right, so we're going to go with a little pop pass. It still gives Justin Fields some yardage, but it functions like a run. Oh, come on. Cohen didn't do nothing on that. That's a Nagy play. But so let's get... Nah, draw's a terrible call. What am I thinking? We'll go... slants. We'll take Robinson. We'll get Robinson on a curl. I'll check him first. Feeling good. There we go, A-Rob. Nice catch. Because we're just trying to milk some clock here. 3rd and inches. Feeling pretty good. Let's get into single back. Let's play inside zone. Draw the 2-minute warning. Go from there. You guys already make the call on if we somehow don't get this. Are we going for it or not? We're going to run into the strength of the formation here. We're just looking for 1 yard. Come on, Monty. Come on, Monty. You guys, I don't think we got it. Man, bummer. Are we going for it or not? Make the call. Looks like we didn't get it. No chance. Needed a yard. Didn't. All right. Let's keep the ball on the ground. Okay, Monty. Solid. Falling forward for 4. Not upset about it. I'm very excited to see, by the way, the Bears running attack. I know. It's been so bad that I feel like getting excited about the Bears running attack is just getting set up for failure at this point. But I can't help it with our new running back stable and Kmet having looked a little bit better as a blocker last year. It's definitely something that I'm looking at, thinking that this thing could actually go kind of well. It's just a matter of what happens next, I guess. Let's see. We need 3rd and 5. Man, I wish I could option into a pass with Robinson, but I don't think I'm going to get a ton out of it. I feel like Power O is just a better choice, and it looks like we were rewarded. There we go, and we win. So, right. At this point, you guys tell me, are we running the score up, or are we just taking the W? Because right now we've got the W in hand. Bears just beat the Lions, write the articles, tweet the tweets. It's just a matter of whether we want to get Fields another little score. That would give him 4 touchdowns, which would be the first time since 1999 that a Bears quarterback has done that. And the last guy to do it was, believe it or not, good old Cade McNown. Elon, we'll keep running the ball looking for yardage to try to make this just that little bit closer and then score at the end. That's at least what I'm thinking. Let's see. Ooh, they are really, really up there. So let's see. Boom. Easy. Go with the team celebration, Cole. What are they going to do?
Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Bears will extend
What a goofy one. All right.
They have to love
Fields, 4 touchdowns. First game. I don't even know how many yards yet. It's just a matter of counting them, obviously. But the Bears are coming away with a win. 9 plays, 79 yards. A time of like a billion. Right, Elon? I mean, that's a dream right there. 4 touchdowns, ultra quick. Did he get a running one? No. Let's see. Yeah, he got a running one in the preseason, so he's just looking good. Allison's around. I don't know quite what she's doing. Cosmo got a lot bigger. And by the way, the cat, overtime, he is a big boy now. Not Maine Coon big, but not a kitten anymore, which has kind of been fun. I like the free throw. You know, Audrey, I like the free throw celebration looking back, but at the time I was definitely sitting there like, what is he going to do? Is he going to shoot a free throw with the football? Not with the football? Okay. Jared Goff is obviously, right now, being introduced to the Bears-Lions rivalry the only way he knows how, losing. Just like he actually had a pretty good game this time, but Matt Patricia and his magic pencil could not find a way. I feel like we didn't quite get enough Kindle Vildor in this one, but we're working on it. We're moving. Oh, that is not bad. Allison got a whole bunch of these, what is it, these limoncello LaCroix. And this actually tastes like a real drink as opposed to some LaCroix that I've had in the past. Okay, 280 passing yards, 4 touchdowns by the looks of it, an interception at the end. What was Kmet's form? Like what kind of form? Let's see, 83% completion percentage. I gotta imagine his touchdown or his quarterback rating was pretty good. 135, tanked by my interception. 15 for 18. You know, fine. Not great. You know, that's the thing. Case. Normally I can't either. Normally I can't stand LaCroix. I want to like LaCroix because it's the popular thing for people my age. But this limoncello one is better than the ones that are normally like, what is it, essence of banana, or this was packed near some limes. Oh yeah, Audrey, Goff was ballin', but you know, that's how it goes, I guess. Justin Fields, he's got a nice little, oh yeah, you know, Nick Foles, he did a lot for this one, so he obviously got an upgrade point there. Let's see, what do we got here? Mac, Sack, Dak. I am going to... Let's give him the strong-armed upgrade. Why not? So, he's got a little bit of awareness, a little bit of mid-throw accuracy. I think we can get around to that. So then, Allen Robinson, always developing, right? He's going to improve as a route runner because I think he's really technical. I think he's really good at it too. Got a little bit of everything there. He's a superstar pattern. Let's see. Yeah, no kidding. That's the impression that I'm getting, Case. Like, there wasn't much that I could do. And I mean, granted, you can't design a video game with the quarterback just randomly throwing in completions, or the player feels like they're not doing much. So, I get it. I just don't love it. All right, so let's see. The rest, you know what? We can throw that in there. I can't help but get the impression that in this lineup they have demoted Darnell Mooney, but that's just what I'm seeing. Because what is it? Goodwin out there was like, I have to play, 500 downs with Mooney, and he definitely was not immediate, or like he was definitely on the field. So I don't know what's going on there, but maybe I need to just look harder or something. Let's see. Oh yeah, we do. New member in the Discord. Hop. Let's advance week. Looks like we're playing the Big Blue View in this next week. DC wants to talk through it. What are we going to do about Saquon Barkley? Dude's a home run hitter. We got to slow him down. We don't have to totally shut him down, but... Waluigi? Yeah, I know, right? But let's see. Okay, we can work with that. Love you, David. But so, let's see. We get training going here. Wide receiver, tight end. They keep wanting to not develop our boy Justin Fields. I gotta just keep changing it to make sure that happens. But so, let's simulate training. Then let's play the whole game. Let's see. Yeah. Part of me is like, let's just play the offense. And then I'm like, nah. We're Bears fans. We like defense too much. Might as well. All right, so let's see. We got to win 2 games in a row, obviously. And then, what is that, 1 or fewer rush TDs? I guess that's to stop Saquon. But, yeah, we'll see how this goes. James Bradbury's a good player, by the way. I know he had a pick against us, so I tend to doubt that I have to prove too much. But he seems like a solid, sticky cover corner.
From Soldier Field in Chicago.
Saquon looking healthy.
It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay. Y'all excited for the season? I know I am. It feels like getting to actually watch football and talk about football can often be can be a whole lot more fun than speculating about, maybe football and potential football, but meh.
It's the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Elon, I'm 100% there with you too. You think that simming the defense is a good idea because I know I find myself going, I'm not very good at defense, and then I leave it on the sim thing and they get scored on every time. But Madden woes. I'm too, Audrey. Even if things flame out, it's just fun to be excited. It's a lot more fun than it is to walk into last year's 2020 season, trying to talk ourselves into things being good, and then they were not. So it's just a matter of what happens next. I can't wait to hear training camp reports. I know they don't carry a ton of weight. Preseason football should also be a lot of fun, but either way, it should be a good time. I love this time of year. Let's get into, what is it? We've got Mooney on the field. Yeah, I watched him take snaps. I know he took snaps. All right, so let's see if we can get Mooney working, because I feel like he didn't have near enough production in the last game, and a lot of that was just game plan. So let's go no huddle. We'll get a run going. I love this run box we're running into. Oh, come on, Montgomery. You can get through that. I know he can. So let's get back to the gun. I like an RPO here. I think it makes a lot of sense. And Fields got it. That was not what I was intending to do. I didn't realize that I had to actually hand it off to him, but thankfully we're looking at a dual-threat quarterback, and so Fields takes the ball, goes and gets the yardage we need. Let's run a nice little screen. I love taking it when you've got the defense backed up, running a quick screen. And I think it looks like we're going to... No, Cohen didn't get out there fast enough. Dang it. That looks much more like the standard Chicago Bears screens that we've come to see. So let's see if we can't... Oh, yeah. Single high safety with 4 verticals. I like it. I think we've got a good opportunity here. Go, Fields, go. Oh, you're kidding. Thank you, Mustafa. Yes, Mustafa. Big run from the Bears team. You know what? Not a fumble. Obviously not a fumble. That right there was a pass. Everybody, or a lateral. Must have been. Let's get another quick screen out. There we go. I can't believe Mustafa picked that up. Thanks so much for stopping by, Audrey. Great seeing you. We'll catch you around probably next week, too. I would love to do a couple of these, see if we can't burn all the way through a whole season. Yeah, no kidding, Case. That's what I was sitting there thinking. I was like, I'm not going to be... you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. But I can't believe that somehow he came out that much faster. Go, Goodwin. Did we just pick up a hold? I bet we did. When? First and 13. Oh, boy. We took a lot of those back. All right.
But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now with shotgun handoff to Cohen.
There we go. Somebody was saying that they needed a little bit more Cohen up the middle, so that one's for you. Let's get a little bit of slant running. I don't know what Ridley's doing on the field in this setting, but that's okay. I think if we get Allen Robinson on a curl, that could work just as well, and it will. Unstoppable. I mean, it's unstoppable in real life, and it's unstoppable in pretend. I'm okay capitalizing it every single time. Like a deep slant or a deep dig. I like that a lot. Goodwin should clear out the safeties. If the line can hold, we've got Robinson there. First down. Good job on the offensive line's part. Field took a big hit as that happened, so I'm just glad it worked, honestly, because that easily could have been another sack. Justin Fields is dealing. The Bears are wheeling. And I think that's a face mask. Woohoo! Yeah, there we go. Bears are moving and grooving. This is all pro, so I'm surprised that this is going as well as it is. But, you know, I'm not complaining about it. Let's see. Stick should work. Stick's a nice little red zone play. Looks like Robinson's unmarked, too, which is a little weird. But we will take it. Easy. Touchdown. Feel free to fire any other questions that you got, by the way, as we go. I love the opportunity to get a little bit warmer with it, but we can also perfectly fine just chilling, playing some Madden. Bears up 6-0. Yeah, right, John? As soon as Fields gets in the game, the blue and orange glasses come on, and it's just a matter of easy sailing. First drive of the game, sit 5.5 minutes, chunk our way down the field, and to an easy touchdown pass that makes everybody forget about anything else. Luke, let's talk about it. More than happy on talking about it, at least. Coming up with stuff in the middle of the stream, I don't know, but I know that I'm in a better place to collaborate now than I used to be, that's for sure. So let's get things, let's get moving. What do we got? We got Daniel Jones right here. All right, so I like sticking out in the nickel defense. I feel like nickel is a good way to start, especially since I want to dare most teams to run. But I can't tell if the Giants are just thinking, oh, we got to pound the ball with Saquon Barkley. But that's what Akeem Hicks is for, apparently, because he made a really nice play there. Let's see. That's awesome. Let's do it. I mean, hey, Lions have a big bunch of changes coming up. We talked about those in just the other one, but even seeing Goff in a Lions uniform is so goofy overall. Like, it's going to be a weird couple of years, I feel like, for the Lions, just as the Lions find their footing. But hey, with Penei Sewell and like one more season that might, especially given the way that Jared Goff's career trajectory has seemingly gone, if things don't go well, the Lions could easily be in position in the future to draft the next guy very, very quickly, which, hey, maybe that's part of the plan. Don't love giving up that coverage bit right there, but Case is absolutely right. Look, if the quarterbacks are throwing like 80% completion percentage, I feel like we're looking at a game where I've got to blitz more often. Yeah, because if we don't blitz, then it's just a matter of time until the next guy, or until the guy completes the next pass. But yeah, John, yes, amen. Lions sans Stafford sounds like a Lions team that I just don't understand. And so we'll have to see what happens, or like we'll have to see what it's like just watching that at all. Because I know for me at least, that's very, very strange. Thanks so much, Luke. Good to hear. Oh, of course he got that. Let's see.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective.
Oh gosh.
Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
We're gonna switch to a Tampa 2 from there. All right, there we go. Good job, Roquan. And yeah, for those of you who can't tell, I am not phenomenal at the user stuff. But let's see. Let's see if we can't use Roquan well here. Oh, I blew it. 100% on me. That's why I let the computer do it most of the time. Because I am, or what is it? Do you hold LT to backpedal? But so, you may very well be right. I need to look into it, Luke. But I know that the North could be wide open should things happen regarding like a Rodgers move. But I also know that's a pipe dream until the moment that we really see it. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Okay, 2-minute warning, and it has been a slow game. Just people exclusively chunking on down the sidelines as we go through this, which, meh. Or not just chunking it on down the sidelines, going down the field. We've gotten one drive per game so far with the ball on the 3, so it's just a matter of what happens next. I thought about accelerating the clock, but it looks like they're going to do it for me. If we end up with, what, 1 minute and 40 or something, 1 minute 20, we should have enough. And we get it up. 7-7. Let's see if we can't, convert things on this next one. Perfect. So we are, it is 7-7. What is it? Giants are 0-1. Bears are 1-0. All you could ask for as we heat on up. Case, I think a lot of people think that Goff is flat out bad, and I've never thought that that's amazingly fair to him. I think he's a really, really good football thrower, and he's gotten better as at like reading the field and moving through progressions as he's been in the NFL. The trouble is he started from a place of almost no experience, and so that growth has taken him from bottom level to medium level, let's call it. There we go. Commit up the sidelines. Get out of bounds. Did that count? Did it stop the clock? Looks like it. I'll take it. But so, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens regarding like Jared Goff and the rest of it. But we'll see. Alrighty. Kmet making the big shoulder hit there. I think that that's going to wind the clock, but we don't really care. Let's see, nice 40-yard pass play to open things up. Let's get back into... we can stick with the single back. Looks like Justin Fields is taking a bit of a beating there. Oh, yeah, 100% case there. Like, you're talking about Stafford, and I couldn't agree more. I think a lot of people over time have given Stafford a lot of unnecessary grief. And, I mean, I think he's a very good player. So... you get the idea. Oh, gosh. Let's call a timeout there. Oh, gosh. My brain was in way too many places. I should have pulled the trigger on the throw to Robinson. Instead, now we're at the 22. We've learned from this a little bit. We can't give everything up just because I want it really badly. But even so, we'll take our chances. With Tampa 2, I'm thinking we're going to get this dig underneath, or right here. And we do. Come on, Goodwin. 20 seconds at the 2. Here we go. Let's see.
As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
I know we can find a better play than some of these because I want to spread everything out and then I want to run like a stick variation, but we've got some time. Let's see. If I could get like one of those pop passes, that works just as well. Like one with the guy coming all the way across, but we'll just run basic stick. I think Kmet or Cohen's going to get open here, but we'll see what happens.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Inaccurate bullet pass. We can suffer that. That's fine. So let's see if we can't go inside zone and get something. I don't hate that box. I don't love it either. We're just looking for 2 yards. 1 yard. Final timeout. 3rd down. Obviously, we want to pass here, so it's just a matter of what kind of end zone concept we're going to run with. Let's see if we can't get... I like this variation of stick because it has Robinson coming across also. Let's see if we can't grab something here. Got him. Stick's so helpful in short yardage situations. I'm not surprised at all that teams use it as often as they do. Because you see stick, I mean, constantly. Like, you guys have probably seen it before, but routes exactly like that on the inside. If you don't know, that's called a stick route, and it is super duper common. I think it's great in the red zone, if not easy to foresee, but I don't really care. And that gives Cole Kmet, by the way, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and Justin Fields his 5th, maybe 6th, because I can't remember who scored in the first part. But they're certainly, in this case, Bears offense doing just fine. As long as we can hang on to it, I think we'll be kicking off to the Giants next. So we'll have to make a play there. And yeah, I tend to agree with you, Luke, in case. Matthew Stafford has been one of the bright shining lights on Lions teams of the past for certainly about as long as I think he's been in the league. Megatron was phenomenal, would never say anything negative about him. He was just fabulous. But the fact that the Lions even took a slight step forward in offensive efficiency after he retired just reminds, I think, the league that Stafford's a very, very good quarterback. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in Los Angeles because I tend to think Stafford will pop off, but it may take some time. I mean, let's remember that it took a little bit for Stefanski to start really ironing things out with Baker Mayfield and what's going on with a very talented offensive Browns team. And it took a couple of seasons for Shanahan to get his sort of stuff like in place as well. So while McVay isn't moving, there is a new quarterback in town, and it'll just be really interesting to see what happens from there. Because, I mean, we love this kind of stuff. It's fun watching a brand new quarterback come to town and seeing what happens and how that affects an offense. So, I don't know. If it sounds like I'm saying we'll see a lot, it's because I am, but we will see. And I can't wait. This has the make of a very, very interesting NFL season. And maybe one of my favorite parts is that I'm not convinced that the Bears are going to be desperate. I think that they're willing to slow play things if slow playing things gets them what they want, which is Justin Fields developing and a solid core team for the future. But we'll have to see, or like I say that now. Hopefully there's not too much pressure put on them in the future, depending on what happens. Let's see. Well, they're saying that this is a game plan play here in Tampa 2, so as long as Danny Trevathan can keep things underneath him, I'll be fine with this. But this had better work. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Wish QB change. Yeah, I think it's going to be, well, are you talking draftees, John, or just the ultra quarterback swap? Because certainly we could talk through some of them. I don't love Darnold. Every time I've watched Darnold's film, he seems like he's just a guy. If there was a little bit more to his game, whether it was dual threat, this, that, the other, I'm more than happy to, like, give him a chance. I like giving guys chances, but every time I watch Darnold's game in particular, I see exactly what it looks like. Your very standard boilerplate pocket passer mold quarterback that really has issues seeing the defense and avoiding interceptions. I know the word seeing the defense is becoming kind of a meme and something that's hard to really fully understand because it means so many different things, but Darnold just seems like he gets easily flustered and will bite off a little bit more than he can chew too often, which leads to turnover issues. And I mean, you could see that all the way back at USC. It's not new, but people have been sort of just, I hate saying people have been ignoring it because it sounds very conspiratorial, but people have been just letting that go. I'm with you, Case. I think Teddy adds a little bit more. That's not to say Teddy Bridgewater is super duper good, but I do think that he adds a little bit more to an offense than somebody like Sam Darnold does. The fact that Sam Darnold may have been the reason that the Carolina Panthers did not draft Justin Fields is flabbergasting to me. That is so standard NFL. But I'm glad it worked out for the Bears because I feel like in the past it's been, I can't believe Nick Foles stopped the Bears from doing this, that, or the other. But hey, it worked out for us. Moving on from there, we've got the Broncos stuff. I do think the Denver roster's so good, Case, that you're right. If it was any other team, I don't think I'd be near as interested as the Broncos have made me in Teddy Bridgewater, because normally I wouldn't think it was that big a deal. But in this case, oh gosh, what play call did I call? I don't know what I just did. I thought that Robinson was supposed to get that. Maybe I was supposed to throw it to him. That makes sense. But so, Draco, I tend to believe with you, by the way, but it's all a moot point. Thankfully, Foles is getting traded and the Bears are moving on, and we're talking about another solid guy. The brightest part to me about Teddy, Case, is that Teddy's really solid with his legs about making something, even just a little something, out of truly nothing when he absolutely needs to, which, as we saw from Nick Foles, he certainly couldn't do, which it's helpful. I mean, Brett Coleman talked about that, and I thought that was really, really smart. He talked about second phase play, and I know that when it came to my own evaluation of Foles, that was just something that I didn't think about much. 4th and inches, are you kidding me? They didn't credit him with that? We're going for it. Let's see. Inside zone should get it done. Just a matter of Tevin Jenkins making the big impact block. Come on. I bet they're not going to give it to us. That sucks. Oh well. But so getting back to quarterbacks and how all that's going to play out. With Teddy Bridgewater, I can't help but think that the Broncos, by the way, expected Aaron Rodgers to get traded to them, and that's part of why they took Patrick Surtain. I can't get that out of my head. That it just shocks me that Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater / Drew Lock would have been the reasons that Justin Fields was able to slip to 11, becoming a Bear. I get the Eagles sticking with Jalen Hurts. Regardless of the fact that I don't love Jalen Hurts, I get that, at least. You spent a second-round pick on him. People get weird about that kind of thing. But the fact that Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn ended up in Carolina and Denver purely because of Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, that blows my mind. But moving on from there, I will be floored. I will be, looking at the camera, floored if Carson Wentz is able to recover who he used to be. Watching his last season's Eagles film hurt. I mean, I would love to milk this or not milk this a little bit more. I would love to pretend to be less hyperbolic, but watching his film, I could see the talent. I could understand why he was drafted where he was, but oh my word, and that's Robert Quinn's third sack, by the way. As I watched him, he was just a broken man. I mean, he was waiting on everything. Slim, we've been going for about an hour 45 at this point, something like that. And we've probably got another 45 minutes or so left in us. I think the end of this game and then probably another one. Why not? Well, however long that is. Good start to the season, first 3 games. But so moving from there, if Wentz works out on the Colts, I'll be a little surprised. And good for him if he does. I mean, he's with his old team, right? Or not his old team, his old coach. So if he was able to find something, I think that would be really at least good for him, if not something worth cheering for, because it's always fun to see players kind of put it together a little bit. But I'm not super, confident that he'll be able to do that. I will take that, by the way. I feel like they could have... No, they can't go for that, so that works out for us. Then, as far as other flips go, I think Stafford and McVay are going to be a really nice fit. Obviously, it depends on whether you see McVay as good or not. It sounds like there's some debate about that. I think McVay is a really good quarterback. I think McVay is a good quarterback assistant. Like, he helps quarterbacks really well. I didn't say that well. McVay is very good at supporting his quarterbacks. There we go, Robert. And Stafford is a very good quarterback. I think that this could be the opportunity, if not the dream opportunity Stafford needed to say, hey, I'm really good, and he's earned it. Guy's a really good player. I'm rooting for him in Los Angeles after week 1. Oh, gosh. I gave that one away. I was fully expecting Mooney to get a little bit further out and throw that ball much further outside, but it did not work out. And Madden said, "Nuh-uh." So we'll just have to make some defensive plays and and overcome this from here. Also, I'm not great at Madden, but so yeah, exactly, Case. I mean, the Panthers took on most of which cap hit specifically are we talking about? Not Wentz, right? You're talking about Darnold in this case? Oh, Valentino, I can't agree more. I mean, it's hard to be as good as they were, right? We saw this in 2018 with Chicago, that it's just extremely difficult to have 2 years in a row where your defense is extremely good. And they lost John Johnson, which I feel like is a loss that it's not getting talked about a ton. But so, yeah, you're absolutely right, Case. I forgot the fact that they basically ate most of his salary. Slim, sometimes. The trouble is that on that last one, for instance, I saw that we were probably running up against a Smash cover 2 and felt very, very good about myself because I was like, yeah, that's what Smash is built for. And then it feels like virtual Fields didn't necessarily make the throw. And, I'm never going to pin things on Fields because Fields is incredible. But, or at least he is for now. But so, at that point, I'm just bummed that it didn't work. Looks like they got this on 4th and 1. Bummer. But so, from there, yeah, exactly. The Panthers soaked most of that. I'm surprised that they did. I really don't think this is going to make them a ton better. Yeah, Denver absolutely won the deal. Like, absolutely. Denver's roster in general is super well put together. Can't earn nothing but praise for that. And it's just a matter of the fact that they don't have a quarterback, which, that hurts. So then looking around the rest of the league, let's see. I agree with all the people that keep looking at Lance and they keep saying, because I was always a big Lance guy. Like, I've always thought that Lance looks like he has very good pro projection. It's just a matter of who is going to have the patience and to develop him and the system to support him in his early years. In this case, I think San Fran's a great fit. They've got a phenomenal little offensive system being built up over there. Everybody knows it with Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Mullins, and the rest. It's just a matter of whether Lance can deliver, and I think he'll be asked to deliver pretty early. I don't think that's going to be a danger for his career or anything because he's part of the 49ers, and that works out for them. But it certainly, let me see. Oh, I still think that there's always a chance. But so, oh man, Slim. After the Rams game, this was really depressing. And after the Rams game this year, I hope that we can all be a little upbeat because there's obviously a pretty decent chance that the Los Angeles Rams are just going to cream the Bears. But I don't know because they lost John. Okay, I forgot. This is exactly where we were. They lost John Johnson, who is basically, I would tell you guys with a straight face, in the game against Chicago, John Johnson was Eddie Jackson level good. I don't know what happened there. My safety just completely botched that. That is a massive bummer. So it just sets up for Justin Fields' epic comeback, obviously. But so, not only did they lose their defensive coordinator, not only did they lose a really phenomenal safety, but they also lost a couple extra DBs. I can't remember the guy's name. It was Tony Hill or something like that. But they lost him too. I am not expecting the Rams defense to be bad. I need to make this ostensibly clear. The Rams defense should be very, very good. But I've also thought for a while now that the difference between legendary and good is noticeable, especially in the NFL. I mean, the difference between being able to look at a player, a defense, and say they have some holes versus goodness gracious, they have no holes is stark. And I think that the Bears hopefully will be able to benefit from that, though obviously we don't know until we see it. So let's see. 3 yards there, not what I wanted. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of shallow cross action here. All in on the Madden. There we go. Allen Robinson over the middle. Going to take a nice little big hit. Might as well call a timeout while we're at it. We've got 3 of them. Let me see. First round. Oh, are we talking about for Rodgers? Yeah, I can't agree enough, Case. I mean, they hit that point, and it's just a matter of, like, almost a matter of time before they start winning. So, I guess I'm bummed they didn't, because obviously that means that the Bears have to deal with Rodgers. But I'm also not 100% sure that this whole Rodgers saga is over. I know I know that there are plenty of people that would just love to see a resolution one way or another. You've got to be kidding me. What just happened? I hit the throwaway button and he fumbled? Ugh. Oh, that's the worst. I don't know what just happened there. That sucks. That sucks. What is it? Right stick is throwaway? Yeah, I tapped that and he just immediately lost the ball. Maybe it counted as a hit. Maybe I did it a little late or something. Should have sprinted. But let's see. I'm hopeful here that we can try to keep him back. Force overtime, goodness gracious. Just a matter of somehow trying to make a play. Gotta love Madden quarterback fumbles. Oh, of course he holds on to that ball. Man, this was going so well. That's exactly why we got to play one more before we close things up. So, man. All right. Let's see. Did they just kneel it? Wait, what just happened? Hang on. Did Madden just do what I think it did? Are you kidding me? Did they not win that? Did Saquon Barkley just... Oh, my word. Am I seeing this correctly? Saquon Barkley ran the ball, and then the play clock wound down and automatically triggered overtime. I'll take it. Overtime, baby. Here we go. Bears ain't out yet, and somehow we got the ball. So, let's take it all the way. I take these. No, I mean... John, it doesn't make sense for Fields to lose. It's out of canon, apparently. All right, so he just fumbled, meaning that we've got to set things up. Everybody's going to get mad at Nagy for keep going back to the shotgun, but obviously, I mean, we got to do it. I think so anyways. So let's get some... Yeah, okay, that works out. It's not what I want. Nah, we got to go slant with a stick action on it. I don't know what that was. But, you know, I'll take it. 3 yards right there. Okay, not the ideal run, but we take it. Let's see. Cohen up the middle. I think he just got face masked again. Oh. Cole Kmet with a hold? Never. Never, ever. Let's see. Yeah, we got to find some yardage here. So let's see. I think we can get Goodwin, some solid ones. Robinson and Mooney should split the middle. I don't know what the flag is. Personal foul against us again. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up. Man, that's the worst. Now we just got to find a way to stop him. Yeah, 4 minutes in overtime seems really short. Man, 2 penalties in a row. That's the old Nagy Bears right there, right? All right, so Case, let's hear it. What's the meta defense here? It's obviously not like cover 3 or something like that. So let's see. Is it some kind of a zone blitz? Is it like a slant or like one of these, a buck slant kind of thing? Something that freezes the quarterback for a split second before somebody else rolls in. Oh boy. Things I didn't expect for them to run the ball. Makes sense. But I know I found myself thinking like all pass. Let's go quick switch into cover 2 man. That'll do. Cover 3, 2 high safety, off coverage. Let's see. Okay, so not out of a 1 high safety look. So let's see if our 4-3 gets us what we're talking about. Because we got to win. We got to win. That's what we got to do. And then off coverage out of nickel. Gotcha. So not out of a 3-4 at all. I feel like that's what I keep hearing about, talking about Roquan being a user player. Oh, please don't tell me that that's somehow a defensive flag. You guys are killing me. The refs are cheating. That hurts. I believe you on Roquan being a user player. I've always been really terrible with usering linebackers because every time I've ever played Madden in the past, I just don't. I've always been just run the D-line, grab something, or don't. Let's see if we can't sneak a blitz in. And sack. That's exactly what we needed. There we go. Let's see. Okay, 35 or 37-yard kick. I feel like these are certainly tough for me when I kick them in Madden. So it's just a matter of what happens here. Come on. Come on. And we did it. I can't believe it. The kickers in Madden can't make anything. Like anything at all. Man, this is just the longest game. But let's do it. All right, so what do we got? We got a split back spot here. Let's just go half inside. No, I changed my mind. We'll go with a quick double slant because I hate this. And threw an interception. I'm an idiot. I thought I could get it over him. Oh. Such a bad look. Such a bad look. So bad. Defense got to make another stop. It's just the longest game gets longer. Oh, no. Should have been a bomb. Should have been a bomb. Oh, so embarrassed. Thank you, Daniel Jones. Thank you. Man, this is one of those, like, who wants to win? And the answer is apparently neither of us. Come on, Mac. Akusai, that's 100%. That's how you know it's a video game, because Justin Fields would just never make those mistakes. We all know. Almost. I double tapped it. Let's see, because we need... This is where the game gets really stupid. I know this much, because I know in these settings you can suddenly just call a blitz, and if you get one guy through, you can get a sack just like you saw us get earlier, because they don't kick on like first down. Man, that kick was so short. I'm still thinking about it. Let's see. Okay, they're just going to go for the kick from the 33. Short again. Take that, Lions. Giants. All right, so the longest game stays long. Let's get a little inside zone action, because I think the OT term turns over. If nobody wins, I'm pretty sure it starts up a second overtime period. But I could be wrong, and we could be headed for a tie. Let me see.
Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie.
Nope. It's just going to call it a tie. Well, I guess it's better than losing. Man. Nobody used that phrase. Nobody needs that in their life. But, man. I could have gone for it, but Akusa, I was so worried that I was tanking Fields' stats badly enough. That's what the next game is for. For playoff season, or for playoff seeding perspective, it's all right. Hey, look at that. Case, we kept it to 76 completion percentage on Daniel Jones. So there you go. Online, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to the online thing where it just gives you extra time. It must be to just avoid the tie. That makes sense. Let's see. Jalen needs to be a little bit better. Fine, man-to-man. Sure, call it a scheme fit. Let's get Roquan going on here. Love you, Roquan. So what do you guys think? If it comes down to it next year, Roquan, $20 million per year. What do you think? Yes? No? Worrisome? I know I'm worried because that's a ton of money. And I feel like, what is it, with Bobby Wagner, let's see. We held him under 4 yards per carry. I'll take it. But so, yeah, let's see. Roquan in particular is one of those guys that I know I look at and I'm like, he's very, very, very important to the defense. I really haven't made up a mind one way or another, but he's extremely good. So it doesn't break my heart by any stretch of the imagination to get him paid because, I mean, he's important. It's just a matter of how the defense wants to use him. Because if the defense is going to actually feature him, obviously it works out. Like, let's pay him. Absolutely. If the defense isn't going to feature him, you got problems, and you don't need to be paying him $20 million, Eddie Jackson $13 million, Khalil Mack $30 million on the cap hit, and then Eddie Goldman and Akeem Hicks on top of that. At some point, I feel like the money's got to shift back towards the offense. But I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Only time will tell. But exactly, Case, I mean, hey, look, that's the same argument that would have said, Slim, I've been there. I wish I could tell you that I hadn't, but I've totally been there. But like you're saying, Case, I mean, that's the logic that says that the Bears absolutely should have done, like, extended Allen Robinson earlier than they did, and I'm on that train for exactly the same reason. So there you go. All right. Bears at Lions. Justin Fields' third game. He is undefeated as a Bears quarterback, but not only wins. So we'll see. Or let's see what happens next. I swear, Madden wants to play me in like a cover 2 every single game. Go, Monty. Oh, yeah, Case. I mean, at this point, it feels as if the Bears are really struggling to catch up to market evaluations that they're missing on. Like, in their case specifically, the Bears seem to be really intent on setting the bar a couple $1 million lower than the market is, but the market's there. Like, there's no real good way to just get around that at the moment. So while Roquan Smith may be a little bit more expensive than they were planning on it, or than they were planning on paying, and Allen Robinson the same way, I feel like they should just kind of suck it up and pick the guys that they're going to stick with, because I would rather not just go to free agency and rotate somebody else in. I'm sure the Bears probably could, but I've heard people, for instance, talk about Kenny Golladay in this last free agency cycle, and now because Golladay obviously signed with the Giants, the new guy has become Chris Godwin. That they say, well, we can just replace Allen Robinson with Chris Godwin, and you can. But remember, Chris Godwin is a franchise tagged right now, so there's no necessary reason for us to expect that just because Allen Robinson doesn't, or like the Bears don't want to pay Allen Robinson, is that they would suddenly pay Chris Godwin and that the Bears would get that Allen Robinson level production. Let's think about this, guys. Chris Godwin, admittedly, in the very healthy Tampa Bay offense, was a 800-yard receiver. I think Godwin's a really good player. I just think Allen Robinson's special, like really special. Not that many guys are going to be able to handle the load of, what is it? I think he got targeted 160 times. That's surprising. Like, that's getting targeted a ton. And the fact that Robinson remained as efficient as he did despite the quarterbacking that he dealt with. Get in, Horsted! Come on! Boom! was pretty impressive. Allen Robinson had, I think, the 4th highest success rate against man coverage in the NFL from a yardage perspective, which I think was like really, really awesome. But so, oh my word, I didn't realize that my poor Texas Rangers local baseball team were on a 12-game losing streak. RIP. But so, yeah, I would way rather pay Allen Robinson what he's worth, even if at this point that's $22 million a year, than go to free agency and get ever so slightly less for, or pay ever so slightly less, like still $17 million for a player that's not near as high caliber as Allen Robinson is, but that's just where I'm at. Like you're saying, Case, I mean, if he, I wouldn't be surprised if he does almost exactly that and then just pop out. All right, Matt Ryan, what do you got? Throwing a lot less interceptions than I have, unfortunately, but Justin Fields is just blowing up the touchdown boards. So we take the good with the bad. And there I go, Case, calling freaking zone defense again. Man, I am incorrigible. Oh, good. Goldman's hurt, and Iggy's playing. So let's make some substitutions, because we don't need that. That's for sure. Yeah, sad Cordell Patterson. It sucks losing him, but I feel like the money just didn't work. And the Bears kind of knew it was coming. They were able to replace a running back with a running back. I don't mind. I mean, it's the kind of move that has to happen, unfortunately, when you're trying to build a successful team. You can't pay everybody as much as I'd want to. Let's see. Oh, if things are getting choppy, because I'm seeing them get kind of choppy, and that could just be an internet question. At least they're popping up on my end that way. Let's see. Yeah, he does, Case, because Brady's just doesn't apparently feel like getting paid all that much, which is hilarious, but that's how it goes. Yeah, they seem like they're getting fairly choppy, so hopefully the internet stabilizes a little bit. Let's see. Oh, come on. Robert Quinn with his 4th sack of the season. Nope, 5th. So Robert Quinn is obviously, paying the Bears back at the moment. So let's see. Let's go with a zone blitz. Yeah, Case. He's got that, like, LeBron James effect at this point, speaking on Brady. He just, oh boy. Somehow I assumed that because my defensive line didn't react to that at all, that wasn't happening. All right, so, yeah, Kusai, I mean, I don't know how much of that is actually true. I've always heard that. I just have no idea how true it is, but it certainly seems like it matters, that it comes through. That Brady he takes good money, just not incredible money, and his teams tend to benefit from it. But so, Tang, honestly, if you told me that part of it is that Quinn last year was just suffering from, I think it's called dead foot, like, I think it's quite literally called dead foot, or something like that. But so, if he was dealing with that, no, it's called drop foot. That's it, drop foot. For anybody who didn't hear that the first time, that I know Quinn was suffering from it basically all year, started in camp, and then by the time he started playing, if you're like me at all, you thought, oh, well, he's in the game. That means he's not hurt, because we can do that sometimes. And I don't think that was Quinn's scenario. Now, does that mean that he's going to pop off? Probably not. But better than 2 sacks in a season? I think he can do better than that. I mean, it's not a huge bar. Come on, Mooney. Dang it. Oh, we had a touchdown there, if he catches that. Come on, Justin. But so, yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I really would hope that Quinn could do a little bit better than he did, because that would really help the Bears, but we'll see what happens. You don't know till you know. And I bet we got a hold. Yeah, Kusai, he's blowing up now. Gracious, you guys are killing me. Come on, Cody.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Let's get a seam right there. And it looks like we've got zone coverage of a sort.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
The seam was there, but I took the easy one to Robinson, so that works. Let's do this thing. So now we've got, what is it, a 3rd and 1? 3rd and 1 ain't so bad at all. Let's go quick mountain stick. I think that works great. Feed the ball to Jake Butt. He needs the ball more. Probably not, but that's okay. Yeah, no. We can go for this. We're in the right kind of distance, or down in distance. Plus, we've got good audibles here. I love, for instance, they just lined up in like a red zone package, so you take TE drive at this point off of an audible, and it is nigh unstoppable. Just like that. Jake Butt picking up his first reception as a Bear, I think. So from there, let's go inside zone. Try to get some stuff. I mean, hey, all draft nicks talk about how Jake Butt was looking like a very good tight end prospect until he got hurt a whole bunch. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why I really couldn't tell you why specifically it seems as if the Bears are so fond of Jimmy Graham, but they are really convinced that Jimmy Graham is the guy. They must be, because they paid him a ton the first time around. Like, as much as we would love to pretend that, like, Jimmy Graham was, like, come on, Quebec. Nice little 30-yard gain. I mean, you may be right, like maybe, but I'm convinced that the Bears really like Graham on a personal level. I don't get the eval personally, but they really like him. It's a little weird to me, anyways. So Horsted's gonna pop out in the flat. We're looking at like a standard dragon drop. Commit's too easy right there. We got to milk a little bit of clock out so that the Falcons don't have too much time to run it up afterwards. So let's get to the 2-minute warning. Yep, that's exactly right, Case. And to be totally fair, let's see. I'll wait till the stream comes back up. But basically, if it was me just looking at it, I would personally say that I'm okay with the fact that the money stayed with the offense and came out of the defense. It's got to change at some point, but I don't love losing Kyle Fuller to keep Jimmy Graham, who I feel like is just sort of a relic of the past. But that's a pretty hefty opinion I've got right there. Why is Jake Butt like the second tight end on the roster? Tell me he's there. Who do we got? Oh, I heard a little ding. Nothing popped up. Thank you. Oh, nice to see you. It sounds like we've got a new Twitch follower, so that's rad. Good to hear it, DCLC 2001. Good to have you along. But yeah, I also get the impression, for what it's worth, Case, that Fuller didn't want to be here. Like, that's just an opinion that I'm totally speculating on, but with how quickly he signed a deal with Fangio and the way that the defense was moving along, I get the impression that that he specifically wanted to move on from Chicago, that they tried to extend him. Now we're talking conspiracy theories, so everybody take out your tinfoil hat and pop it on. Here, I'll put mine on right now so that we all know that we're talking speculation, conspiracy theory. My guess is that Ryan Pace and the Bears tried to re-sign Kyle Fuller, but Fuller didn't want to stay, so they decided that while they wanted to trade him, the whole league then at that point knew, like we saw, that the Bears were going to cut him, and so they did. That they basically said, well, if you're not going to stick around for forever, we don't need you here now. And I don't love the decision-making there. Obviously, I think Kyle Fuller's a better player, but if that's what happened, huge if Kyle Fuller suddenly came out in an interview and was like, I wanted to be a Bear for the rest of my life, terrible decision, horrible. But given where things were, I tend to think that, let's see. I'm reading your comment real fast. Let's see. CP would definitely take that out of the end zone. Yeah, there's fair, or that's more than fair case that the Bears could have made it worth more. So at this point, I don't understand the attachment to Jimmy Graham. Maybe for some reason they're worried about that Graham leaving basically puts too much strain on a commit that's not ready for it. But then now we're speculating in a different direction. So I don't really know. I have gotten to the point where I don't try to explain Ryan Pace's decisions as much as I just try to interpret them, because because a whole lot of decision-making, I swear, from Ryan Pace is very anti-analytics. It's very against the grain of what I feel like is becoming common football thought. So if I wanted to complain all the time, I guess I could. You get the idea. You guys know. At this point, I'm glad the Bears found a solution at quarterback that wasn't just Andy Dalton. I know I put up an article on Windy City about Andy's limits, but man, it just screwed the Falcons again. They could have kicked from there. Instead, they just lost. So I guess I'll kick off to him now. I hope that Ryan Pace and the Chicago Bears figure something out with Justin Fields under center. I think Fields has real potential to be a very good quarterback. How good? I don't know. You got to understand, I was really concerned with the way that Deshaun Watson threw the football, like when he came out of school. I was convinced that it wouldn't work out, like in the NFL long term, and that he was a guy who was going to be good in college, but less great in the NFL, and then he came out and just exploded. So I've been wrong before. But also there's some of the stuff that you just don't know till you know. And so I think Justin Fields has a lot of the traits that you want to see in a guy who, like, you want his floor to be fairly high. That's the best way I could put this. Where's Justin Fields' ceiling? I don't know. Just like how I didn't really know where Mitch Trubisky's ceiling was. I have no idea. But what I can tell you is that Fields' floor seems a lot higher than Mitch's was. Because if Fields is exactly who Mitch was, I still think that he'll be more accurate. And we all know Mitch had issues hitting shots downfield. But if Fields becomes the guy who can hit shots downfield, like, while also... Oh, come on, make a play. There we go, Roquan. If Fields becomes that guy that can hit the shots downfield and also run the rest of the Nagy offense, then at the very least you're talking about a potential Ryan Tannehill situation, where I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a conventionally great quarterback, but he sits in a play-action offense. He hits his play-action deep shots downfield. He does everything that offense needs him to do, and statistically the offense rewards him very, very well for it. Let's see if we can't get Mooney in the game a little bit. Yeah, exactly, John. I mean, Mitch is deep. Goodwin knows that he dropped that. Case, you're right. I mean, the talkers that loved playing for Fangio just stick with Fangio long term. And it's almost funny because, like, they really just stick with Fangio. But, yeah, Tang, everybody loves to throw those kinds of qualifications on it, and I don't blame anybody, by the way, that, like, you know, if Graham blows up, then it'll be worth it. Honestly, if you told me that for some reason Justin Fields' favorite target at the end of the 2021 season was Jimmy Graham, just underneath to go with Allen Robinson, I'd shrug my shoulders and be like, meh. That's part of why I like to treat this season as pseudo-developmental anyways. Obviously, the Bears want to win. Like, that's of course one of the focuses, if not the focus, like singularly, of this Bears team. Go, Mooney. Come on. Come on, Darnell. Nope. Close, but no. But it's one of those that I look at and I'm like, as long as Fields gets better and proves himself as a legitimate option, I don't personally think anybody's going to mind what happens from a win-loss perspective. But, hey, we'll see. We got to see where it goes. Yeah, red zone screens. So, Zane, talking about the Anthony Miller trade, I think it truly just depends on what you think was going on behind the scenes. I'll explain both sides. If Anthony Miller was getting over-reported for being lost, that all the stuff that we've seen and heard about Miller's trouble, Miller's trouble, like, getting lined up, Miller's trouble coming to practice on time, so on and so forth. Oh, by the way, check your phones. Looks as if the Bears just signed Jesse James. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. The tight end, Jesse James. So that's interesting, if nothing else. I don't know who James is at this point in his career, but I have to imagine that he's just kind of a blocking tight end that is, like, he's a blocking tight end that's probably, like,
a worse version of Kmet. Yeah, that like just happened. So I don't mind that at all. Like, again, that's a name from the past, and I know that just like anybody else, I can get really bit going, oh man, guy from the past. Like, he must be good, as if he hasn't gotten older over time. But when I first hear that, I go, that's not a bad signing. Like, that totally works with what the Bears need. So hopefully it helps their offense get. Anyways, getting back to brass tacks here. Probably Tudu. I would say he's probably our third best tight end immediately. What case? I'm curious I mean, I get him as depth, if nothing else. I'm hoping he doesn't play much. Reminds me of the tight end we saw in like week 1 that I cannot remember the guy's name. It starts with a D. I would have sworn like his first name, that played a lot in week 1 last year and then just slowly got pushed out. But yeah, the Bears have a lot of tight ends. They love their tight ends, don't they? I guess they're just looking for that guy, whoever it is. But anyways, with the Miller trade, if you take all those reports of like different practice issues and basically not having a good attitude seriously, then I almost get the impression that the Bears are signaling that they were about to cut him and that they let him keep going, or that they looked for the trade option so that they could try to get something out for him. But again, if you do like Miller in general, his talent's undeniable. I've always thought, I mean, he was the first guy that I did a breakdown on because I could watch his tape just explode off, that as a route runner, he is nothing short of sublime. But that sort of thing starts to lose its luster when you can't get lined up correctly and then you punch. Yes, Demetrius Harris. Thank you so much, Jacob. That's exactly what I was looking for. But so I think this is, by the way, how many sacks is that for Khalil on the season? Because it's not near as many as Quinn, I don't think. But so, anyways, getting back to Anthony Miller specifically, yeah, it's one of those that I can't help but look at and think that it just didn't work with the coaches. And I don't know who to blame, what to say, because Miller was so talented. I mean, he was one of the first people that as I really started understanding football better and better, I looked at and thought to myself, as I kept watching, like, who he was as a receiver, that as a rookie, he stuck out to me as somebody with a very, very bright future, and obviously that didn't pan out. Bummed it didn't, but if the plan was cut him or take what they could, then I guess I get where we're coming from and understand the trade from there. Yeah, JJ coming through, big time. So, do I like the Miller trade? No. Do I hate the Miller trade? If it was really just a matter of, like, Miller wasn't getting along with the coaches and so on and so forth, I understand the Miller trade. But I wish that we could have instead had a successful player instead of somebody that just sort of got phased out over time and ends up being the trade up that, like, so it was my first, remember. Man, you found my channel on that? That's hilarious. But so, because that was truly one of my first, if not the first, might have been the first. But so, as far as like what I think, again, don't like the Miller trade in the conventional aspect. I get it from a now aspect, but that means that it is a trade up. Yeah, exactly, Akusai, right? It's a trade up that didn't work, which is a real bummer. Actually, now that I think about it, Akusai, look that up while we're here, because I don't know if it was. Like, I don't think it was 2 trade-ups. I could have sworn that it was a current 4th and a future 2nd, and that we drafted a different, player with the 2nd-round pick, and everybody wanted, or not everybody, but I know I wanted Anthony Miller at the time, and I was like, no, we didn't get it. Oh, we traded it back up to the 2nd round. Oh, we got Anthony Miller anyways, which made for some, funny talk at the dinner table. Come on, Justin. Nah, we're getting that out. Yeah, a future 2nd and a current 4th. We've been in the I formation for a daggum long time. Let's get some running. Let's see. I put too much on my tight ends, man. Let's go tight end drive. Honestly, for all things told, as far as like getting future value, I agree with you, John. I think that it's ultimately not that bad a trade. Like, in the world of trade-ups, you hear about some teams, like, skewering people. This wasn't really that. But obviously it sucks to see your trade-up turn into nothing. So I wish that he'd worked out instead. Overall, I think that Bird and Goodwin are more the move, is where they're looking at it. Bird, Goodwin, and Mooney. Oh, Fields. Wish you'd gotten that ball out. You know, we're looking at 4th and 17. We're winning by enough. We might as well go for it. Who cares? Let's do it. Oh well. We're winning this one, thankfully. So it's better than the overtime one. Yes, it was James Daniels, and then we traded. I knew we traded with New England. It's that absolutely classic Belichick kind of move right there to pick up the extra value. And then New England just kept on drafting, you know, until the absolute cap again of New England this season, where they just spent everything as if they were like coiling up to just find something to do with all their money, and then just blew it on every player that they could possibly find. So we'll see what happens with Mac Jones there. That's kind of got to be a funny little scenario. But so, yes, I would say it was the Miami game as far as what Miller did. I feel like, as a big Miller stan, I would tell you guys with a straight face that Anthony Miller started hot in his rookie year, and he had these moments his sophomore year where he looked like he was going to find himself a little bit, but it just never came together. I would argue he was almost a better rookie than he was a sophomore and a junior, and he's always kind of had these little moments since then. But just like I'm sure you guys remember, Anthony Miller also had that fat drop in the Giants game that I'm glad we won anyways. But that rail route that Miller ran right up on the sidelines, and one of Mitch's honestly prettier throws, just in case that it freezed out because I can't tell on my OBS thing. That might have been one of Mitch's prettier throws ever, as he absolutely put the ball right in Miller's hands, and then Miller just dropped it, which was a huge bummer, and the Bear ended up needing Eddie Jackson and a couple others to knock balls away right at the end of the game just to make up for it. So, yeah, John. Let me see. We're waiting for this to come back again. I am also very glad that we didn't have to draft Mac Jones. Very much. But so, let me see. What trade specifically? Follow it. Follow it all the way. Root it out. But so, which playoff moment are you thinking of, Akusai? Because I feel like there are a couple where Miller had that huge catch in the Eagles game that ended up getting called like a fumble, sort of. Let's go score. But so, Slim, I think Mac is fine. I think Justin Fields is the let's call it the sexier pick, and I'm just questionable about whether Mac Jones' ceiling is going to be all that high. And I actually don't know where his floor is, by the way. Like, everybody likes to do that, right? Everybody has heard what I just said. Justin Fields higher ceiling, Mac Jones maybe higher floor, but we don't know that. Like, it is never easy to know whether Joe Burrow, for instance, I love Burrow. I think Burrow had one of the most fun seasons ever in college football. So know that before I say anything else, that's where we're starting from. Also, Joe Burrow on the Cincinnati Bengals last year was one of the least efficient quarterbacks, not least, but he was certainly bottom half in efficiency, and part of that's due to the fact that he didn't throw deep almost at all. He threw short or intermediate on almost every single play. And, oh gosh, Goodwin, get up there. Let me see, what are they going to call that? Holding? Did they call pass interference? No. They called a block in the back, which doesn't make any sense. But, okay, sure. Yeah, so it's not that I hate Mac Jones by any means, and it's more that I looked at Fields and I couldn't help but find the upside more fun to follow. And so given that Mac Jones was on the board, he's somebody that I'm perfectly happy to let pass to New England. Let's just run the ball. We're not going to get anything out of this. But so I'm happy we got Fields from those two. I wish Mac Jones the best. He's definitely somebody that I'm watching because every time I watch Jones, I wanted to... Let me put it this way. Jones is that guy that I looked at that every time I watched his film, I wanted to like less, and I didn't. But I also wanted to like more, and I couldn't. Does that make sense? Where I saw an offensive operator, I also saw Alabama so dominant that if I was trying to reset the franchise, I would have absolutely leaned towards Fields. Now, does that mean that he's going to be a bad Patriot? No, not at all. It doesn't mean anything yet. It just means that I'm not certain about him yet. And so I would have probably had him. I had him, like, if I was going to give you a pick grade, I thought Mac Jones was probably a good around, like, anywhere from 20 to 26 in terms of where you would draft him in the first round. So number 20 to number 26. But I'm not trying to be too specific either because I don't have my sheet out in front of me right now, but that's just where I remember him being roughly. That was, by the way, a very nice and easy game right there. We didn't end up with 4 sacks. I can't believe that we had to have 4 sacks, but we're well on our way to team passing yards, rushing yards. We are woefully behind, but that's how it goes. It looks like, what is that? Allow 1,500 yards or less. We are not doing a good job there, and that is okay. But so, oh, Lamar, I don't know. That's so goofy. We see Kindle Vildor picking it up. John, it's... Jones. That I thought you were about to say the other one. Yeah, I mean, Jones also hasn't played as much. Again, it's all like, think of it as like a trick of the eye, honestly. That it can be easy to look at Jones's career and say, oh, he's a pocket passer. He's running RPOs. He's running pro-level concepts. Like, of course he's got a high ceiling in the NFL, and I'm just not sure. I feel like that's a very easy mental pit to fall into. Dave Montgomery does not like the game plan, and that's funny to me. But so, yeah, then the catch fumble. The Kusa, I was thinking about that too. Now we're starting to work all the way back. Alessandro, talking about Cohen and Newsome on the pup. I'm not surprised about Newsome. He did break his collarbone, so it'll probably be a little bit. And then Cohen, I don't know. ACL tears are so weird, right? Like, hearing about, or like ACL tears and just the way that they have moved over time has been bizarre, because we've had some ACL tears that people come back from in 7 and 9 months and they're ready to go. And then on the other hand, you've got plenty of these other, like ACL tears that can take somewhere between 9 to 12 months. It's just a long time before the knee is fully healthy, and for a guy like Cohen, that his agility is all that he is, I'm not surprised that they're letting it play slow. At this point, I think that the Bears have bigger fish to fry than whether Cohen is in the game or not, much as I love watching him play. So we'll have to see what happens from there. Like, it's just a matter of the next couple weeks. Remember, we've got like 20 days until the first preseason game, let alone the first regular season game. So who knows? Lamar, I have no idea. YouTube is so weird about notifications for streams. So I'll do what I can to get the message out a little bit better to make it clearer when we're setting up. Feel free to ask like one more question, and then I'll go through an ending spiel. So far, the Bears are 2-0-1, and I'm cool with that. So, good start to the season. Let's take a look at the league-wide statistics as the Bears are... Oh, sweet. Look at that. Here we go. We're leading the division. The Packers are 0-3. Let's take a look at this. Did Rodgers retire? Let's see. All right, so what is it? Does standings work? So let's see. No, it doesn't. But so, yeah, no kidding. I mean, Cameron, hearing about that was just heartbreaking. Just what happened with his brother. So that's, I don't know, that's just awful. Eddie, I do think will be better, honestly. Our defensive yards are good. Okay. But so let's see. Yeah, 0-3-0. That's what I intended to say. Let's see the team stats. Looking around. How do I look at rosters? Let's see. Who is the Packers quarterback? That'll tell us most things. And it's Rodgers. They're just 0-3-0. Okay. That's awesome. Who have they played? What in the world? But so, yeah, going back to Miller, as far as wide receiver 3, chances are, if you told me, not yet, but we're getting that way. If you told me that I got to pick the wide receiver 3, I would need to watch a little bit more. But my first gut is Damiere Byrd, purely because he had the biggest workload last year. And I want the wide receiver 3 to be able to output some solid work at this point. So I'm not trying to play games and play potential. I'm more than happy for somebody to get some experience on the practice squad or in practices, even just being wide receiver 4 before making it in. With Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney as clear 1 and 2, it's just a matter of playing that wide receiver 3. Byrd out of the slot and out wide makes sense. He's a burner, so he and Mooney set up for that burner role with Allen Robinson as more the volume / wide receiver 1 role. So if I was going to draw it up, imagine it as Allen Robinson attacks the short, the middle, and the deep parts of the field, but also draws most of the coverage. And then you either have Mooney or Byrd that can stretch the field at any point with a quarterback like Fields that can throw the ball real long whenever he wants to. But also those two are pretty good yak threats in and of themselves, so they're able to do that. And then you're probably going to have, to use Cameron's point, either a running back or a tight end that's assisting in this moment. So they're either going to continue to open up that space in the short and intermediate areas, whether it's against linebackers by physicality, that's more Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham's game, or agility and speed, but, arms in the air, because past a certain point, it's just a matter of whatever Andy Dalton / Justin Fields like to do. The bright side that the Bears have going on here is that where they used to have this problem of Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields being, or not Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles being polar opposite quarterbacks, where Foles was behind a poor offensive line, just like Mitch was, but he couldn't move much. The bright side is that you've got Andy Dalton, who's mobile-ish, and Justin Fields, who's very mobile, both of which are pretty solid at deep throws. Andy Dalton, not crazy good throwing deep, but he's better than Mitch. Hard not to be, unfortunately. And he really loves attacking the intermediate areas of the field. So you've got two quarterbacks that are looking a little bit longer than Mitch and Foles were. Whether it works or not, we'll see. If you're going to ask if you wanted to know my biggest question on this offense, besides the obvious, is Justin Fields good? It's with the offensive line. The Bears get James Daniels back. That's a big thumbs up. But now we're starting a rookie at left tackle. I'm very, very worried about that, by the way, that we're starting a rookie at left tackle. I don't know why we didn't just keep Charles Leno. As much as I know a lot of Bears fans hate him. They hate him so much, which is fine. But keeping him at left and, Jenkins at right would have made sense to me. But apparently Jenkins has been wanting to move over to the left side. So sure, I can work with it. This just means that we're looking at going from right to left. A rookie, probably Cody Whitehair, a UDFA, James Daniels, who's never played on that side of the line, and Jermaine Ifedi, who was fine. Against good defensive lines, I wouldn't be surprised if this offensive line's going to get schmacked. But how are they going to play against not very good offensive lines? Last year, they were great. Last year, they were awesome against, the Lions and the Texans and the Jags and other teams that didn't have high-quality defensive lines. But obviously, we saw the Packers and the Saints, they got popped. So it's just a matter of seeing what happens from there, how things play out, and what comes next. We'll see. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I can't believe that we were Montgomery's 80-yard run. Which one? About the Saints. But so from there, from here we move on. It's just a matter of seeing what happens next. So I will more than likely be streaming again next Sunday. I think Sunday's a good day for this kind of thing. And obviously we're going to shift into something else as the season comes and goes. So we'll probably move again to Wednesdays. The goal on Wednesday is to give me one day to watch the All-22 and then immediately get to the next sort of thing. I'm going to hop back to working on the Justin Fields video, have that out as soon as I can, and then we'll go from there. But at this point, thanks so much. If you want to support me, feel free to either donate or I've put Patreon on ice for a little bit because I want to see myself regain my own momentum before I even consider charging for anything. But if you do like supporting me, then thank you so much. Every little bit does ultimately help. I'll be on Twitter at Robert K. Schmitz, on YouTube, here at this channel, on I don't think I have any other avenues, but you should. If you do want to hear more of me, you can check out my podcast on the Windy City Gridiron Podcasting Network. Just search Windy City Gridiron in the podcasting app and look for Bear With Me or Rule of Three, both of which are shows that I'm hosting. So thank you so much, team. Awesome having y'all. Drop a like if you liked this. Subscribe if you haven't. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. We are 2-0-1. We are in charge of the division. One more thing that we've got to see. Let's take a look at the player stat leaderboards. So let's see. Is there NFL? Let's take a look at touchdown numbers, sort by that. Looks like Justin Fields is tied second in the league for touchdowns with Jared Goff popping off. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want merch, just let me know the kind of merch that you'd want, and I'm more than happy to at least think about it. So Justin Fields is not doing phenomenally in the passing yardage perspective. We've got 3 interceptions on the list, which actually makes us pretty high overall. But you know what? We're working with it. Our rushing numbers have got to be terrible. Like we don't run the ball enough. But that's on me. But either way, Justin Fields having a good start to his NFL season. Let's see, what is the quarterback rating? Like, who's leading that? Kellen Mond. Of course he is. Kellen Mond, Chad Henne are both, they're 1 attempt, 1 completion, 1 touchdown. So there you go. Looks like Jared Goff is, again, somehow the best quarterback in the NFL at this point, with Justin Fields right behind him. Just what we'd want. And until then, it looks like that's where we're going to put this season on ice for just a little bit. Rodgers has 6 picks. I love it. Can't wait for those Packers games. Guys, have a great one, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks so much.